The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 449, being recorded on February the 19th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walk. So today I'm joined by my co-host from the West Coast, the best coast, Gunny Chief, Henley Merrill is back. Welcome back, Henley, welcome.
Hey, everybody. Man, it's good. I like rainy weather, Jesus, because I game more. More time to game. It's a good thing.
Okay. And from Little Ohio, we have Mayo, Steve Willier. Welcome, Mayo. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Unlike Gunny,
Hey.
though, you know, we get cold weather, so it's gaming weather up here right now. I don't want to be outside in the cold.
Yeah, that's right. You tell them. And I don't know from where, from Discord land, we have a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen, listener of the show and longtime friend. He's been on the show before. Welcome, Jay. Jay, I don't want to say your whole gamer tag. It's like, come on, like numbers.
Yeah.
J11220. What do the numbers mean? What do the numbers mean?
It's just a date. That's all. 12/20.
12/20. Okay.
5 days before Christmas.
And I'm in Florida. I'm down here.
Oh, hey, Florida, welcome to the show, Florida, man. Yeah, we're here.
Thank you.
We're here, gentlemen.
We got 2 on the East Coast and 2 on the West Coast.
As always, you can follow us on Twitter or the X at _horrible gamers. You can also join our Discord, which is the best way to get hold of us and talk to us. Actually, I think it's the best way. It's probably the fastest and easiest way. Head on over to Discord. The link is in our show notes. You click on it, you join it, and it's free to join. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, actually. So if you already have a Discord, then just join our server. And you can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Pandora Radio, and wherever you may find other podcasts. You could probably find us. I would say is 99% chance you will find us there as well. So head on over and rate and review us if you can on the platform of your choice, and share us with your friends and family to get the word out there about the show. Also, a big shout out to the people that support the show with the monies, like Leahy, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Chad, Henley M. Thank you, Gunny. Port
You're welcome.
Chapu, Nipron, Mayo, Evan, Big Daddy Tanaka, all in caps, by the way, so he wants us to say it really loud. And Bill Garner, second of his name. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Nipron. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Robert, Jason, and Leahy. You guys are all fucking awesome. We appreciate it. And yeah, let's talk about stuff, guys. So, as we all know, Gunny, today is President's Day, Gunny. You know why it's President's Day?
I don't. Is it has something to do with that movie? I don't remember.
Listen. Officially, President's Day was founded because originally we used to just celebrate George Washington's birthday, okay? Today's his birthday, the founder of this country. Well, I wouldn't say the only founder, but the first president of this country and one of the major founders of this country, right? Yeah, so he had a birthday that was today, February 19th, and people decided to start celebrating his birthday as a holiday, as a federal holiday, and then eventually it kind of just became like a thing because Abraham Lincoln's birthday was on February 12th. And so, yeah, we just kind of said, you know what? We'll just make it President's Day for everyone. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I even got to. I was kind of surprised. I got the game today with Ryan, and he said up in Canada was a holiday. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, you guys don't do President's Day. There's no way.
Oh.
You know.
They have a prime minister, don't they?
He said it's Family Day up here in Canada.
What?
And,
Yes,
Come
family.
yeah, Family Day. Well, of all things.
Who celebrates that? What kind of lame celebration is that?
It's
we
not real.
celebrate.
We
We
always have a
celebrate
family day.
great leaders in America.
Sunday's
That's
Family
who
Day,
we
okay?
celebrate. Yeah.
The weekend family day. They got a
Yeah.
designated
Anyways.
holiday.
Anyways, thank you to our presidents for founding this country and George Washington for not becoming like a king, right? Because
It's in the Constitution, man.
he totally could have, right? In the beginning, like if he would have just said, you know what, guys, this whole Constitution shit, how about we just rip this shit apart and I'm gonna be the king now. Fuck you guys. Like he probably could have done it, and people would have supported him because they would have been like, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense." You know, people wouldn't have really challenged it. I don't think. I think some people might have, but not everyone. And I think all the people he had on his side, he would have been able to convince everyone to just let him be king. But that didn't happen, and now we have presidents, and now we have commercials every 4 years talking about this guy spent your money on dumb shit. Do you want him to continue spending your money on dumb shit? No, then vote for me because I will spend your money on other dumb shit
True.
that you might like. So support me instead of that other guy because I will spend your money the way I want to spend it. And then it says paid for by blah, 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 and supported by blah, blah, blah. That's what happens every 4 years now.
Yeah, that's how it
thanks to-
goes.
You know, if we would have just had a king, Gunny, we wouldn't have to deal with this shit. We would just have a king.
You know what the fun thing I find funny, Jesus, is I know that we all recently did our taxes. I don't know about you, Jesus, but I know me and Mayo did them. Did you do yours,
Yep.
Jesus? So
Yes,
you know
I
how it
did.
says like, "Hey, do you want to donate $3 to the presidential election
Oh my
fund
God.
or whatever?" I'm like, why would I give you more money?
Yeah.
Come on, I'm already giving you my money. I don't want to give extra.
But you're giving him the money to run as president.
Yeah, but it just says fund, right? It doesn't say what president you're giving it to, or just a fund.
Yeah, the presidential campaign fund, man, so they could be reelected or whatever.
I mean, I vote. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm not giving you my
Yeah.
extra money. Government.
It's kind of, yeah, like I said, it's kind of a dumb thing to me. Like they spend so much money on like campaigns or whatever to like run for president or governor. They spend a lot of money, dude, like billions of dollars. There should be a cap on that, right? There should be a law saying like you can't spend more than, I don't know, what's a reasonable number? More than
They
$50
spend
million.
hundreds Yeah, they spend hundreds. So
Yeah, like they spend easily $1 billion on a campaign, dude. Like they could easily spend that much money, you know, like just to drop out. Eventually, they could spend that much money, and it's fucking crazy because no one bats an eye about it. Like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's normal. That's perfectly normal, Gunny. We could just spend 500 million on a campaign to just say, oh no, you know what? We change our minds. We don't want to do this anymore, Mayo. Mayo, I
Right.
don't. I wanted to be
Yeah.
president last week, and then this week they showed me that I will never win, so I no longer want to be president." You know, it's like, come on,
never
man.
mind that little bit of money we spent.
Never mind all the money
drop
you
in the
gave
bucket.
us. Yeah, never mind those $400 million I just spent on fucking ads. Doesn't mean shit. Sorry, guys. Like, that's crazy to me. It's always been crazy. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about video games, Gunny, and the shit we've been playing, okay?
Good. I need
Video
that money
game.
for DLC.
Okay, listen. Of course, I played Call of Duty. Of course.
Of
Okay?
course.
Like, is that even a question?
No.
Is that even a doubt in anybody's mind anymore? So yeah, I played some more Call of Duty. There's a new map called Stash House, which is like the tiniest map I think Call of Duty has ever made. Honestly, it's
Tinier than
it's like
shipment?
it's tinier than Shipment. Yes,
Wow.
it
How
is
many
literally
people?
12.
haven't
It could
seen
be
it.
12 people on a match, I think. But it's a house. It's what it is. It's just like a house. It's a house, the front yard and the backyard, and then that's really it. Like it's just a house. There's like it's kind of fucking crazy. Like they just said, how about we make a map that's just a house and like fuck it. Like it's just a house. Like that's all it is. And then we'll have people run around on this map and die every 2 seconds because you spawn in front of people everywhere, and people will just camp a corner and kill you 100,000 times because you keep running into the room trying to get through the house. It's kind of a stupid map. I really don't like it. And then they did add some other map. I'm pretty sure they added like another one. I think I did play on it. Oh, there's the Rio map. I think that was the end of last season, but I know they added that Stash House, and I think they added something else, but I can't recall what exactly it is. But it's okay, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully they add more maps eventually. I don't know if they will. I'm assuming they will with the next season, but I don't know. I don't know how many seasons are in a year of Call of Duty. I don't.
I don't know. How long did the season last?
This one's gonna last 60 days or 55 days. and we're in season 2 now.
Well,
So
that's
they
probably a
had
good
season
amount then.
1.
Probably 6 then.
I would say 5 or 6, right? Because November is when Call of Duty comes out. So they could probably squeeze in another 4 seasons to this game. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I played lots of that. Then I ended up playing a lot of City Skylines lately, man. I kind of got back into it, and then I started a whole new city the other day, and I just been playing that a lot, really. I mean, it's just a lot of City Skylines too.
Yeah, I saw you on there a couple times on Discord. I hopped on and I seen you over there
Yeah.
on City Skylines too, chilling.
Just chilling, man. It's kind of a chill game. I mean, all it is really just micromanaging, like how you're gonna zone things out and where do you want people to live, and trying to get rid of the pollution and move your industry over to one side of the map so it doesn't pollute where people live. It's just a little bit of that. So I've been playing lots of that. I'm still right now. My biggest issue in my city, which has grown to like about 60,000 people. It's traffic. Traffic, man. I cannot figure out the goddamn traffic, Gunny. It's a nightmare. The traffic just gets gridlocked everywhere. There's so
Yeah.
much traffic.
I've been seeing that on Reddit, like
And I've
watching people
tried
try to
to, like,
merge.
and then I've tried to so what I did today is I built an extra highway around my city, like a freeway. I ended up just building it, and then I connected it to the other main highway. So now I kind of have like 2 highways, one that goes around my city and one that goes into my city, like into the middle of it. So I'm gonna see if that helps it, and if not, I'm gonna have to build another highway off of that highway. So I'm trying to build all these highways so people stop using the fucking main road and start using the highways more to get around, you know? And then I also added bus lines to my city today.
Are you putting
And,
in enough circles as well? What are they
Dude,
called? Roundabouts?
I got them everywhere. I got those fucking things
Yeah,
everywhere. I think they're the
me too.
problem. I think they're the problem because I got them everywhere, and these fuckers, I don't know if they don't know how to use them or something, but like it fucks it fucking. I have like circles everywhere, all over my fucking city, dude. Everywhere, Gunny. I'm talking every fucking where, dude.
So
And it
one
seems
of the
to be
things
a
that helps
problem.
too is when you say you build the freeways, like I think the standard is like the 2 lanes in each direction, right? So 4 lanes.
I made a 5-lane highway.
Shit, damn, you got a
I ain't
metropolis
fucking
going.
around, man. I ain't fucking around. I made a fucking 5-lane highway, and then I made a 3-lane or a 4-lane highway underground. So I have a tunnel that goes underneath my city and kind of comes out the middle. Then I have the one that's above the city and goes around the city. And then I'm gonna build another one that goes around the perimeter of the entire map to try to like combat the fucking traffic, dude. It's a nightmare, man. And I thought because I wanted to build the ones underground because I figured underground it doesn't make your city look shitty, you know, like it keeps everything underground.
Yeah,
Your city doesn't look all ghetto.
I've never
with
done those, but I only because I can't see it. I mean, unless
Yeah.
you click on management or whatever, but
Yeah.
it would definitely help. Especially if it starts from outside and works its way to the middle.
And so that's kind of what I did, and I have a few on ramps and off ramps off of that underground one, so it kind of alleviates some of the traffic. But there's one main intersection to my city that comes in off the highway. It's like a 6-lane highway that comes into the city into a roundabout, and it's a traffic nightmare, dude. Like cars just sit there. Cars sit there for like minutes and minutes. They just sit there. They can't move because there's just so much traffic flowing in different directions, and it gets fucked. So that's why I built that extra freeway up top. So I was like, I'm going to do that so I can alleviate some of the problems here. And we'll see if that helped. I don't know if it did, but we'll see. Anyways, besides all that, I did end up launching Starfield yesterday and played like a couple missions of it. So I don't know what the fuck quest I was on. I was on some random side quest. I don't even know what I was doing. I was in my spaceship and I was in like some fucking space debris area. There was a lot of debris everywhere. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing out here? So I'm looking at my objectives and it says, talk to some chick about something. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, who is this person? Why am I going to go talk to her? So, and I end up flying around and then some ship hails me and they're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing out here? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, chill, man. Like, I'm looking for you. I need to talk to you. And she's like, who the fuck are you? Why you need to talk to me? And I'm like, look, man, I got a mission for Andreja or whatever the chick's name is. She's with me and we need to talk to you. And she's like, I thought she was dead. And I'm like, no, she's not dead. She's alive and she's with me. Like, And the chick's like, well, if you want to talk to me, you have to fucking help me fight these other ships. So all of a sudden, like 5 or 4 spaceships showed up, and they started fighting us. So we fucking blew them up pretty easily. Like my ship is pretty powerful in terms of like the weapons that it has on it. So taking them out was pretty fucking simple. And then we docked with her, and then I skipped all the dialogue. I'm like, I'm not listening to her talk for 10 minutes. I skipped all the dialogue. I don't know what she said. And then she's like, get off of my ship before I kill you. And I was like, motherfucker, I will fucking shoot you right here where you stand. Try to tell me to get off your damn ship. So then I undocked from her ship, and then another ship showed up to fight us, and we killed it. And then now Andreja talked to me, and she's like, oh, I know what we gotta do. We gotta go and like fucking go and contact someone to help me find my people. And then I was like, what the fuck is this quest about? I have no interest to know what the hell we're doing. I'm just chilling. And I don't know, man. I kind of was like, I'm done with this.
Does it run good?
It runs much better now since the updates. So they have a few updates, a few big ones. Recently, the most recent one that I got was a beta update, which released last Friday, I think. And that beta update pretty much added FSR 3. So if you're not familiar with FSR, that's the technology that NVIDIA or AMD uses, they use for the graphics cards for upscaling.
Are you playing through Xbox or are you playing it through Steam?
Oh, through Steam for sure. Fuck,
Okay.
I don't even have an Xbox.
Because I just tried it. Well, my
You have
Game Pass on PC.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I tried
Steam.
it today for the first time on PC through Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah,
I was playing
I'm
it
playing
today
it.
myself on the console. So we all played on 3 different things.
I'm playing it on Steam, and like I said, Steam has the beta updates. I don't think the PC version of the Xbox Game Pass does,
Yeah,
but the
it does.
Steam one does. So we have the beta updates, and we got FSR 3 added, which FSR 3 is the latest in FSR technology for AMD, pretty much. So there's FSR, which is the first one, and there's FSR 2, of course, and now there's 3. So 3 apparently also adds frame generation technology, similar to what NVIDIA uses for their graphics cards, which is DLSS 3, and they got frame generation on the DLSS cards or the DLSS 3 cards.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what I was using today.
So they have frame generation, and on FSR 3 they have it as well. So I ended up tinkering with it. I wanted to see how the game ran with both DLSS and FSR. So I gotta say, honestly, the difference is minimal with the both of them. I used DLSS, and I was getting around 80 to 100 frames, and then I switched over to FSR 3, and it was still giving me around 80 to 100 frames. Now, might there have been some graphical differences? Maybe. Not enough for me to notice them blatantly, though, right? So it wasn't enough for me to like switch it over and think, oh man, like, oh fuck, this guy's face is fucked up now. He looks like fucking googly eyes. What the hell?
He looks even worse than normal.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with this guy's face? Like, no, we there's nothing noticeable like that when you switch over from DLSS to FSR. And but when I did have FSR 3 enabled, it gave me the option to turn on the frame generation technology, which is the one that generates frames or whatever in the fucking video card that improves performance or whatever. But as soon as I did that, the game crashed. So it's obvious that there's an issue there with the compatibility between my 3080 and the frame generation. Now, I looked it up, and some people say that the reason my 3080 is crashing is because it only has 10 gigs of RAM in the video card, and FSR 3 apparently uses a lot of RAM, like a lot of video RAM or whatever. So your graphics card has to have like a lot of video RAM for it to be able to use that tech. But what's his name? Ghost Nico was telling me that he was using FSR 3 on a 1070.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and he said
telling
he
me-
was getting double the frames. Like
He's telling me so,
compared to launch.
and he's using frame generation. So I'm like, how the fuck is Ghost Nico using frame generation on a 1070, and I'm trying it on a 3080, and it's not working? Like, so there must be some compatibility issue with the way that patch came out, and my
It was
graphics card.
running super good for me. I only have the 4060 Ti, but It was
Yeah.
running around 90, and I put everything to ultra, 1440, everything ultra, and then I tried the DLS, and it jumped to like 120, 125. Was running,
Yeah.
and that's through the Xbox Game Pass.
Nice.
It was running really well. I was shocked.
With with that being said though, I did have the game on ultra. I did have everything to the max, Mayo. Like I didn't originally I had the game optimized to run better frame rates, so I had a lot of settings on medium and high. When
Mhm.
I recently launched it again, I ended up going through there and just tweaking everything on ultra. And then I ended up improving the what is it, the resolution, the render resolution. I upped it
Right.
up from I think I had it at 75%. I put it up to 100. And the game looks really good. It looks really good. It's just I don't know why it keeps crashing with FSR3 and frame generation enabled. Now it doesn't crash when the frame generation is disabled. I could run FSR3 with the frame generation off and it won't crash. But as soon as I turn the generate frames or whatever shit on, it crashes the game. Like it
Well,
just won't
if there's not
work.
much performance difference, why don't you just run DLSS? I mean, that's kind of the natural
And that's what I'm gonna
NVIDIA
do
process
for the
anyways. I mean,
moment. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do at the
I
moment.
I know old, I was talking to Nico today, and he was credited himself with getting you 2 to play it. He's like, "I got Gunny and Jesus to play Starfield again." He was all proud of
Hey, I
himself.
think he did. Yeah, he was talking
Yeah.
about it. That got me to play it.
But the good thing is that the game, from the little bit that I played, which wasn't a lot, I'm telling you, like I only did like a mission or two. From the little bit that I played, it kind of reminded me of why I initially liked the game because I love space, dude. I love space. I fucking do. If I could go to space right now, I would go to space. Like that's how much I love it. Like it's so fascinating to me what space is and what it could be. You know, what could be
So
out there.
you're saying if you had some, Jeff Bezos money, huh? You'd be going out there in a
Oh
rocket?
god damn yeah, I'd spend all my money flying to space, bro. I'd fucking yeah.
Did you ride
I'd
on a
start my
Falcon 9?
yeah, I'd go on all the rockets. I'd pay SpaceX to take me up there, NASA. I'd pay the Russians, the Chinese, the Japanese. I'd pay everyone to take me to space. Be like, oh, you guys take me to space all the time. I want to go to space. I'd try to I'll rent a room from the International Space Station. So
So I get
that's
to walk outside and see a lot of the Falcon 9s go up a lot from down here. I see them quite often, two,
that's
three times a week.
That's fucking badass. That's fucking sick. I love watching them on like people post them or whatever, like the video launches. They're fucking cool, man. I'm like, hell yeah. It'd be cool to see one in real life. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I love space and that's why I don't hate this game, but it pisses me off what Bethesda did to it. Like I wish this game was more like I wish it was a Bethesda game in terms of the scope of it, but with the Mass Effect polish to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Like I
that
wish
cyberpunk kind of polish to it. I mean, the
kind of,
where it's at
yeah.
now, the game where it's
Yeah. Yeah,
not at launch, of course.
yeah. You're right. Like if somebody made a game that was like a mix of Cyberpunk with Mass Effect and this fucking Starfield game, it would be the perfect fucking game. Like if they could figure out how to make it smooth and like no jankiness to it like there is now.
Do you know there's one
And
studio that can do it, Jesus? One studio that can
who's
do it. I
that?
mean, I'm guaranteed that they can do it. Like, I'm sure others could, but that would be Rockstar.
I think they could too. I think Rockstar could. I think they could if they really set their whole team on it. They said, you know what, guys, we're not making another GTA. We're not making another Red Dead. We're devoting all our fucking resources to making the next most badass fucking space adventure fucking RPG game, and we're gonna do it. It would be fucking cool, man. Like you could hijack other people's ship, which you can, and you can in Starfield. You can steal other people's shit, but like Rockstar would do it to where it was smooth. It wouldn't be so janky. Everything would be like fucking awesome, you know? I want it, Mayo. Give me a fucking space GTA, man. That's what I want.
We
Yeah.
need it, right?
We fucking need it, of course. We got a cowboy our fucking GTA. Why can't I get a fucking space GTA, man? Yeah. The fuck, Rockstar?
Well, that's what Starfield's for, man. Come on.
No, but it doesn't have it, man. Like, it has the juice. It's there. But it doesn't have all the flavor to the juice.
Oh,
Okay? It
good way
doesn't
to
have
describe
it.
it.
It's like it's good. It's decent by itself, but like it could be better, you know? It's kind of like Kool-Aid that doesn't have enough sugar. Like
Oh yeah. Ugh.
it's doable. Like you can drink it, yeah, but if you had a little bit more sugar to this, it'd be way, way better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, throw a little
And that's
gin in
kinda
there. Come
that's
on.
kind of what this is, dude. Is like if Starfield kind of just got rid of all the fucking jankiness to the game, it would be a really great game. And it is a good game, but it's not a great game, and it has a lot of faults to it, and there's a lot of issues with it that are still present, I would say. And there's a lot of issues with it that are just fundamental to the game. Like I don't think they could ever change it. And what I'm
So
talking about that is,
how much time do you have in the game?
I would say about 60 hours now, 50 hours.
Wow.
Let me check. I could check on
Okay.
Steam. Because I did play for like, I want to say 10 hours on my Xbox account. And on Steam, it says I have 23 or 24 hours. So I guess 30 hours, maybe. Oh, I think I had way more than that. I don't know.
You might have more than me because I probably I know it says more time, but I probably did 15 on my first
I know
playthrough.
I've done a lot of things in Starfield. I've done a lot of quests, dude. I've done like all the Crimson Fleet stuff I did. I did the UC Vanguard quest. I did a bunch of quests, like a bunch of them. And I've also done a lot of the main story quests where like now you're going out and finding the little power up abilities or whatever. I've been doing a lot of those. And I know I did a bunch of those because I have different powers now. Like I have like a force push. I have one that gives me extra oxygen. I have one that gives me like some levitating power or whatever. Like I have a bunch of different powers that I can use, like a Jedi kind of. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You got the Fus Roda, right? The old
yeah,
Skyrim Fus Roda.
yeah. I have
That's
one of
what I call
those.
it.
Yeah, and I always forget that those abilities are there because I never use them. I always use my guns, and I'm like, oh fuck, I could just push these guys off this cliff and not have to see them. Like, why the fuck did I not think of that? You know, I always forget about those powers. But yeah, I really want Starfield to get better, and I think it will. I think that they're trying to address some of the issues, but some of the issues, like I said, are just at its core part of the game, and that will never change. And those issues for me are some of the dialogue. Some of the dialogue is just very, I would say, very simplistic. It's not like you don't feel like you're really talking to someone sometimes. You know what I mean? Your answers are very canned responses, and the way that people talk to you are kind of like they're not really talking to you. It's kind of hard to explain,
I
and
don't
you
get
won't
that.
see it.
I
You
don't get
won't
that,
see it.
Jesus, but I
You
noticed
won't
that
see it right
some.
away. You won't see it right away because a lot of the main quest and the main characters are well dialogued. They have good dialogue, and they have good, like when they speak, they have good emotion to their voice. They have everything is there for the main characters. But what I'm talking about is a lot of the side characters, a lot of these side quests and side missions that you're doing. You run into characters that are just very like generic. Like she's like
Yeah.
kind of like
Can you
Skyrim with the
help me
guy.
kill these dogs? You know, they don't call them dogs in there, right?
Yeah,
They've
it's like
been eating my crops. I need you to
it's
kill them.
it's
Something
like
like
the
that.
guy. It's like the guy in Skyrim who would always say about the guy who would always talk about taking an arrow to his knee every time he walked into the city. You know, I forget what city that was in Skyrim, but that fucking city you walked into, and the guy was
Yes.
always like, "Oh, I used to be an explorer, an adventurer,
Right.
just like you, but I took an arrow to the knee or whatever." And it's like, all right, bro, I heard that like 1,000 times now. Can you say something
And it's
else?
the same guy for everything. Yeah, the
Yeah,
same voice.
it's the same
But we
guy.
love that game, right? We love that game. That game had
And
some
I
fucking
do,
charm to it.
and it was good. But we are now 13 years away from that game, and in 13 years, it seems to me that Bethesda hasn't really improved their dialogue team, or like what the fuck's going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, Jesus, like I'm sure you've seen it too. Like, even in the main missions, because I was playing it today, and I'm like, all right. So I see like you get the multiple choice, 4 answers to choose from, but 2 are the same. You know, I don't know. But still, like, I get it. There are some other games that have a similar answer, but it's like, really, like, you could have made those a little differently. They're just kind of worded differently. I don't know. Yeah. That I
Mhm.
didn't like. It's like
I
eeny,
like
meeny,
the
miny,
game
mo
though.
on those questions.
I like the setting of the game though. I love space. Like I said, I love the atmosphere in it. It's kind of cool, you know. And there is some cool stuff you run into eventually. Like there is some really cool missions, and there is some cool side quest missions that you do. There's some creepy ones. There's some dark ones. There's different ones that you do that are pretty neat. But I wish it was just a better game. I just wish it was great. It's good, but I wish it was great, I guess. But it's not great. and it sucks kind of that it's not great because it could be great, but it's not. Kind of like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is a lot of fun and it's a really good game. I wouldn't say it's a great game though, because a lot of the endings are flawed. You know, a lot of the endings aren't very satisfying, in my opinion. Most of the endings to that game, even with the multiple endings, I think it has 5 now or 6. They added a few since launch.
Yeah, I think it's 6
Yeah,
now,
with
I think.
that.
Even with the multiple endings that were added, it's not very satisfying. The resolution you get for V is not satisfying. Now, I think in the next game they're going to change that. I don't think they're going to kill off your character in the end. Who knows? Maybe they will. But I kind of games like this piss me off that kill off your character in the end. I think
Yeah.
everyone does it because Rockstar does it. Because Rockstar did it with what's that game? Red Dead Redemption 1. They did it with that. They did it
Right.
with GTA 5. They did it with that. They did it with Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, and I feel like a lot of these companies look at them and they're like, whoa, they can kill off the main guy. If Mass Effect can kill off Commander Shepard, well, fuck it. We can kill off our main guy too, you know? Like, oh, fuck it. We could do it. Everyone's dying, you know? It's kind of like, no, man. Like, some people put in a lot of
Yeah,
time
like
to
it's
these
an
games.
epic ending. Yeah.
It's not very epic if your character dies in a stupid fucking way, like in Cyberpunk. It's a stupid way to die. Oh, you got this chip that's frying your head. And the whole point of the game is to do missions to try to get this fucking chip out of your head so it doesn't kill you. And then in the end, you get to the end, spoilers, everyone, they can't get the chip out of your head because it's going to kill you. So you have a few choices on how you're going to die, and then that's it. There's no good ending, really. You know, there's no happy ending for V. No matter what you do, no matter the choices you get,
Does Phantom Liberty change any of that?
it
Or no?
does. So there is an ending. I will say this. There is an ending in the game where V gets to live, but not like you think they get to live. Like it's not the same.
Probably going to be in another person's body, or yeah.
Essentially,
I don't know.
you don't get continued. You don't like even if they say if the game had like a after end game, like continue playing the game as much as you want type thing, the V that you would get wouldn't be the same V that you got before that ending. Like it would just not. You wouldn't be able to play as V. You'd have to play as a whole new character because V is not V anymore. There's somebody else kind of, and it's kind of like a fucked up ending. Like I said, all the endings are fucked up. So I'm wondering, in Starfield, does your character die in the end? Does oh fuck? Don't tell me, Mayo.
I don't know.
Is
I'm
my
not gonna tell.
fucking is
You're
my
not going to spoil
fucking
it.
don't.
is my
Get
fucking
into it, so.
constellation member gonna die at the end of the fucking game?
Did anybody finish it?
Fuck.
Nobody's finished it yet?
None
I
of us
haven't finished it.
Oh, okay.
Not the main quest, I guess. I haven't finished. But like,
Yeah, I went in on that first playthrough and the one for 15 hours, and then I just went off the rails, just going and doing Crimson Fleet missions and everything else I can find.
that's kind of the cool part of the
Besides the main
game, though,
story.
right? The cool
It
part of that
is.
game is just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. Like you don't have, like, yeah, you can stick to the main missions and probably finish the game relatively fast. I would say. I think people said that if you mainline all the main missions, the game really is only like 15 or 20 hours long.
Yeah, I thought it was 20 to
But-
25. I can't remember.
But if you start doing all the side quests, that's when shit starts getting expanded because some side quests are like 2 missions, and then other side quests are like 15, 20 missions, you know?
Yeah, they're
are
long.
even
Some are long. Yeah.
Some are even longer. Some even go for like hours upon hours. You're like in a mission for like an hour straight. You're like, oh, fuck, like, I'm not done with this
Yeah.
mission yet? like how many places do I
Traveling
have
all
to
over
go
the
to?
universe. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. But
So I think this playthrough for me, Jesus, I'm gonna try and mainline it. I'm really focused on the main story.
so you want
When
to
I-
play it on the main story and then go back and just fuck around with the new account?
They always said that. So this time I'm like, this time I'm committed. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stick with it.
Starfield does have New Game Plus, and the game expects you to do New Game Plus.
That's what I was
Yeah.
just about to ask. That's great.
It does. So the game, so there's actually a thing where if you beat the game more than 10 times, okay, you have to beat it 10 times to get like this special spaceship that's in the game. But that spaceship only unlocks if you beat the fucking game 10 times. Now that is dedication, Mayo. Are you going to beat the
Damn,
game 10
yeah.
times?
No, I'm not gonna beat it one time. So
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
put more than
You
like
beat
an
Dead
hour into
Cells
this game without being
5.
bored. Yeah, I can play Dead Cells though. I just don't get into this game though.
That's a
Like
lot.
it's
That's a
2.
lot
I
of
don't know why.
Starfield, dude.
I tried 3 or 4 times, and I'm literally like, I want to play it because like I'm literally even hearing you guys talk about it now. I'm like, should I re-download it and play it on the PC again? I'm like,
All right,
Yeah.
can I correct that, guys? Because this is something I forgot. Ghost Nico kept telling me over and over again, and that is I am going to join the what are they called? The Rangers, Freestar Rangers. It's part of the main mission, but you don't have to like join up with those guys. But apparently, you do get a really good ship once you complete their quest for them. So and it's pretty powerful. So I'll probably will do that. I forgot how long you said it was, but it wasn't that long, like in hours. So once I get that and I get the ship, I can go back and yeah. But for now, I'm just focused on that main story. So I did see some things today that I haven't seen before. A couple of missions.
I guess Starfield has New Game Plus, but it also has like New Game Plus Baby Mode. So it has a New Game Plus option where you can restart the game completely, and it'll reset everything. It'll reset your campaign progress and all your side quest stuff and all your gear and shit. But it says here that you always get to keep your powers that you have unlocked.
Oh, that's
your
cool. Yeah.
skills. You get to keep your skills and your skill challenge progression. You get to keep your achievements, but you can also keep your campaign progress if you decide to do that. So if you beat the game, the main story, and you decide to restart the game, continue playing, apparently the character that you reset it with, I think is Sarah, will ask you if you want to reset everything. Like she'll ask you, do you want to reset everything? Like, and you could say yes or no. And apparently if you say no, all the side quests get reset, but the main campaign missions do not.
So that means you've already completed all the main campaigns. You only have side missions left.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But you get to keep leveling up your character, like in terms of their abilities and their skills or whatever, right? So if you want like the ultimate abilities in your character, I guess you replay it multiple times to get all the abilities.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, more choices, the better. So I'm just playing on normal, not rookie, not baby mode, not easy.
So yeah.
Sounds like it just allows you to finish the game, go back, keep doing your side quests, unless you say, yeah, reset it all.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. I probably wouldn't do the new campaign. I'd probably just do my side quest again.
Yeah.
It seems like the new campaign thing would be like a hassle, right?
Yeah, like you were just doing it, so yeah, why bother with it?
Anyways, let's talk about anything else that I've been playing. I what the fuck else did I play? I played Starfield. I played that. That's really about it. A lot of City Skylines, man. It's been taking over my game time. The thing about that game is really doing nothing. You're just clicking on shit.
Yeah.
And watching your city go. Like it's kind of like a weird game, right? Because you can literally walk away from it and just kind of see what happens. You know, like it doesn't really matter. There is consequences to it, but there's not if you build up a lot of money in the game where you have a lot of money in your bank, even if the city goes to shit for like 20 minutes straight, you could probably still walk back and see that everything's gone to shit really bad. And you probably lost all your money, but you could probably still somehow like reverse it all, you know, like reconfigure the city really fast to try to get everything rebuilt or whatever, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at in that game because I've played it and I've seen it going to shit, and then I've seen it go really well. And somehow my city Gunny got a lot of money. I don't know how, but they're up. Like the city has a lot of money that it's just like unlimited money at this point. There's so much money that I cannot spend it on enough buildings to spend the money. That's how much money my city has made. And I don't even know how because I didn't have taxes really high. And I don't even know how they made that much money. I don't know
you got those Gunny hacks going on over there. Him and
Yeah,
his,
I think so.
unlimited
I'm not
money.
playing in baby mode. I'm playing in regular mode.
Not creative. Okay.
And for the longest time, I was losing money. I was losing a lot of money, and I was barely making it to like, you know how you get to the next milestone and they give you like $1 million or $2 million, and then you kind of like use that money to build some of the new unlocked buildings and shit. Well, I was barely doing that, and then when I did that about 4 or 5 times, and my city got to like around 20,000 people, 30,000 people, the income to the city just skyrocketed. It just went like through the roof, dude. Like now I have
think
like
it's got to be those low taxes, right? That it's appealing to residents.
No, and I had taxes at like 13% or something for property tax. I had it pretty high. So it was like at $700, $800 million in the bank. I was like, how the fuck So I just kept playing the game. Right now, my city's sitting at like 650 million or something. And
Damn.
I have like everything built that I need to build. I have police stations, I have fire stations, I have helicopter, I have disaster zone response teams, I have everything in the city
You
that
got
you
those
would think
pretty
it needs.
parks placed in the
I got fucking parks
residential.
everywhere. I got a university, I got a college, I got a medical hospital, I got a university hospital. I have a big nuclear power plant. I have like that thing making a lot of power. And like a bunch of shit, like a bunch of industrial areas. It's fucking crazy, man. I don't know, like so. Anyways, that's what I played. That's what I've been playing, and I will continue to play that. And I might continue to play some more Starfield. But anyways, what have you guys been playing? What's Jay been playing? Is he here? Did he walk
Oh,
away?
No,
Jay
he just
stepped
stepped
out for a moment.
What timing? I'll jump in real quick. I've only been playing like a select few of games here lately. Been continuing on with the latest, God of War, Ragnarok, and or not, yeah, Ragnarok, right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
continuing with that quest. I'm starting to get more into the story now. Before I was kind of like getting tired of doing the puzzle solving and all that aspect of things, but it's given me a little bit more to do here and there. I'm finally to the point now where Atreus goes and sees Odin, and you're like meet up with Odin, and you kind of go off on this little quest with Thor. And so I'm to that part in the game right now, so it's kind of picked up a little bit, and I'm kind of enjoying it a little more. But I mean, it's God of War. It's a lot of fun. I'm
I
enjoying
love
the
that game.
campaign of it, but
I
Can-
love that game.
I'm like just going through it. I'm enjoying it. I like the 2018 one better so far for me.
I played
Like
through
this one just
Ragnarok
has a
and
lot more.
played through it immediately again. I liked it so much.
I'm getting more into it. Once early on, it really wasn't grabbing me, but now I'm kind of like, okay, like I've been finding myself wanting to pick it up more often, and I'm getting some more of the abilities. Like I said, I'm to the point now, like where I went with Atreus and went and met with Odin, and you're kind of going somewhere with like part of a mask with Thor, and you're fighting your way through it, and you have to do all that stuff. So just kind of find out what's going on there. I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's been kind of bouncing. Like I've been playing that. I've been pretty much the same old games. I've been playing a little bit of Forza Motorsport again still. Good old racing game. I finally finished the Gunny. I don't know, you played this recently or whatever not, but across the top of the list of races, there's like a whole set of series of races you can do. And I finally finished those, and they give you the Ford GT. It's the last car. And so you beat that. So I went down to the next category. They had the muscle car category, so I got to do the Camaro category. So that was kind of fun. Messing with that. It was like a Camaro Challenger or the Mustang. Of course I chose the Camaro, but beat that. Then when I'm playing like an old Fox Body Mustang set of it now, but I tried going back to the PlayStation's Gran Turismo, and that game is just so much different from the Motorsport the way they both play. Because Turismo, it's all about dumping money in cars and just upgrading them however you want. And Forza is just kind of like you got to level the cars up, so you can't just throw money into them. So you got to like start from scratch with a car. You can maybe put like a set of tires on it, and that's it. And you got to go out there and get so many laps in. And once you start learning the car, you can put a little bit more on it and a little bit more each time you go. But I like the way in Turismo in comparison, like how they teach you more about the cars. Like they have like a breakdown in the histories and all that of each car. They'll talk about like this set of cars here. They'll talk a lot about like Mercedes in general, like the AMG division, and they'll kind of talk about their history. You'll drive some of their cars. Where Forza Motorsport, it just gives you a category of races, and it's like, okay, you can choose these kind of cars, and these kind of cars are it, and you just have to be within this performance point ratio. And so as long as you're under the certain number you need to be, you can use that car. But it doesn't really say a whole lot besides that. But where Turismo is like giving you this whole history about that brand and the different cars and why it's significant and stuff like that. So I do like where they do that more so than Forza, but Forza plays so well. I really enjoy that game. Like the way it runs and everything. Once you put the cars in manual mode and everything, it's just a lot of fun. And then pretty much that's like all my console time has been for the most part. And then like my PC time has mainly been crazy enough is Fortnite with Ryan. He's got me started playing over there. Jesus, he's got me started playing Fortnite with him, and we were having some fun and done a couple games, with him, and we had some pretty deep runs and kind of learned more about the game, and then I'd play some solo runs by myself. But within one night, Jesus, of course, I hop on, right, and Ryan's on. So I'm with Ryan, and my youngest son was on. So I'm like, hey, let me bring my boy over here. We'll go over and get some wins, And so he comes in. He's like, yeah, I can join. So he joins with one of his friends. And I think with Ryan, we win like 3 or 4 games straight. But the one game, of course, my son is like Terminator in that game. He had like 20 some kills by himself. I think he had like 26 or 27 kills, and then his friend had like 10 or something. We ended up with like 40 some kills as a squad in the game that we played with a win. And we ended up doing like 3 or 4 games in a row, getting 3 or 4 wins in a row. And then we moved on, and inside of Fortnite, they have all these other modes now. They have like a Rockstar game in there, and so we end up playing that. And you can basically buy different licensed music with V-Bucks, and then you can play them. You can pick your instrument and stuff like that, and you can pick your difficulty level. And you got to try to like 5-star everything as a group and stuff. It's actually a lot of fun. It's pretty challenging once you put the difficulty pretty high. I think Ryan enjoyed it. I think I even had Nico in that. He was watching us play, I think, and he was having a good time watching us.
So it's just like just a lot of button pressing, like
Yeah,
hit the
it's like
notes?
a rhythm game within Fortnite. It's basically like a Guitar Hero or Rockstar game. You're just playing whatever notes, and it's a matter of key presses and holding. Ryan was using a controller, and we are using mouse and keyboard. So mouse and keyboard is like D and F and J and K, and so you got to use those buttons, and you'd have to hold them and for certain notes and stuff like that. And sometimes it'd be really fast, and it depended like what part of the band you were playing. So if you're doing like vocals in the game, like you didn't actually have to sing or nothing like that, but like you had to hit the notes for the audio to sound right, and it wasn't so bad. But when the vocals weren't going on during the song, you'd have like a little break, but people would have the drums and the lead and stuff like that, they would have to do different stuff. But it was a lot of fun. Just kind of messing around with that and just fun. It's weird, just all the modes they have in Fortnite now, and haven't tried the Lego mode or the car mode, the racing mode yet, but been messing around with it quite a bit here lately with Ryan, and we've been having a good time going there and just kind of hopping
Yeah.
around. We played for a couple
Nico
hours
said
today.
the Lego game is actually pretty fun. So
Yeah, we even were playing the other night, and Nico come on and watched us, and he ended up joining Ryan and myself today, and he was good luck for us. We got 2 wins in a row with Nico, and then after that we kind of split up, and I got back on before the podcast tonight and did a couple games with Nico and got 2 duo wins with him as well. So Nico's got like 5 or 6 wins under his belt. He's kind of getting the bug in the game too. He's like, this is actually pretty fun, so he's been enjoying it.
I was giving him a hard time today. You guys were playing. I was like, you guys killed all the bots already.
Oh yeah. I mean, it probably does match us up with some bots because he's like lower level. He's kind of new, but yeah, we were having a good time playing through it. That's pretty much like all I've been playing. Like I said, I just been I haven't really fired up my Xbox in the living room. I've been thinking about it every once in a while. Like I need to fire that up and play something. So maybe I'm gonna dive back into some Diablo 4. And I did see with the announcement where they said that Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass, which would be a nice addition. But it's funny because it's like another game that I bought that's going to end up on Game Pass. That tends to happen all the time. Like I got that with the Xbox when I bought it, and of course it came to Game Pass. So, but that'll add some players to it. That'll help a lot. So maybe the next season will be good. I mean, that's a good game just to play through, anyways. Just to see, it's a really good looking game, and I've had a lot of fun playing a Necromancer in that game. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's pretty much been mainly the PlayStation in the living room, and just kind of lately here Fortnite on the PC. What about you, Jay? I know you don't have a whole lot of time tonight, but what have you been doing here lately?
Well, lately Sony hasn't had any really good first-party games out. Like Spider-Man 2 was the last one out. That's the only thing I had to play was the PlayStation for a while.
What did you think about Spider-Man 2?
It was good. They added a lot of stuff to it compared to the first one. Being able to switch between the 2 players. The missions were more detailed. The dialogue was better. The story was better. Being able to play as Venom was really good. There was a lot to it. I enjoyed it. But after that, there wasn't a whole lot to play. I've been playing lately. It just came out last week. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden.
Yeah, I've been seeing. I did watch a couple reviews on that. I wasn't sure if that was something I'd be interested in.
I love it. It's kind of like a mix between a God of War and do you know the other game that they made, Vampire or Vampire? Did anybody play that?
I think Jesus did, right?
Yeah.
I know
like
you
that.
played that. Yeah.
I played it. It was good. It's kind of a mix with that as far as like the dialogue and the choices you make, and there's a lot to it. It's basically you and your lover are ghost banishers, and she ends up dying, and you go through the game. She's ghost, and you're still human, and she helps you out. You switch back and forth between the characters. The combat's pretty decent. It's not as in depth as a God of War game, there's a lot more depth in God of War's combat, but it's enough to keep the game going along because the story. The main thing about the game is the story. The story is excellent. The side quests are good. The main story is good. The dialogue, the actors, the performance ain't that great. It keeps dipping. I'm playing in performance mode, but it dips 45, 47 a lot, especially when stuff's fast moving. But I'm enjoying it. I'm probably 10, 15 hours into it. And then I just got a PC recently.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What kind did you get? Did you I heard you built it yourself as well. Like, so did you go to like PC Part Picker, or how did you do it?
You can learn anything from YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
I just watched a lot of videos, decided on a mid-grade CPU. I got the 5600X and I put a 4060 Ti in it. It runs really good. Today I was playing Starfield for the first time. I only played for like maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, so I'm not too far into the game. I completed the first mission. You know, it's basically tutorial, show you how to fly, get to the first planet. Like, that's about where I am. So I haven't played it for very long. But it was running good. Like, about with the DLS on probably 120, 125 frames. Nice and smooth.
Nice.
Everything's set on ultra. I thought it was running good, but that's through Xbox Game Pass. I didn't try
What-
the
What other
SSR.
games do you want to play on the PC? I guess is my next question.
I mainly got it.
What was the
I mean-
reason for the PC? Yeah.
I was gonna get a Series X, and then I was like, wait a minute, why don't I just do a PC? That way I can do Game Pass on PC, and then if there's games that come to Steam, I can play them too. But you know, Indiana Jones is coming out this year. What else? Hellblade 2. There's a few games coming out for Xbox this year, so I figured best of both worlds. We'll see. And there's a couple of games that I've seen that's on Steam that I have on a wish list that I caught during the Game Awards last year that'll be coming to PC. I forget the names of them. But yeah, I figured why not? I mean, it didn't cost me a whole lot to do this. I thought it was recent, pretty decent budget build. I don't even have $1,000 in this. So
It certainly
Yeah.
looks like it. I mean, from what you showed me, like, I don't know, between the case and the graphics card and cooler and all that good stuff.
I should have went 4070. I probably will upgrade it to a 4070 and give this one to my son because he's got like a 1070.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I'm using.
He
That's
wants
what
a
I
better
ended up doing.
card.
My boy had a 1070, and I gave him my old 2080 Super, and then so he was able to do a little free upgrade on his end.
Yeah, I'll probably keep
that
this for
card
6
held out
months.
well. Yeah, that card lasted for a long time, and it still has a lot of life up in it. But I would have kept it, but he wanted to upgrade. He had a 1070, and I figured he was due, so I went ahead and switched it out for him.
Also, I played Guardians of the Galaxy. So for the whole time I didn't have a PC, I was claiming all these Epic games. And everybody, my son, everything says, like, Epic's, don't play on Epic. It's not that great. So I went on there and I downloaded Guardians because it was a free game. And I started playing it, but no controller support. And I'm like, what? I can't use
That's
the
weird.
controller? So I had
that is weird.
yeah, so I found a workaround, YouTube, add Epic to Steam, and then if you play it through Steam, open up
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy that way, there's controller support, but only for an Xbox controller. So I've had an Xbox controller for a while. I remember last time I was on Jesus, we talked, you were shocked because I was PlayStation. I liked my PlayStation, but I was also playing Game Pass through the cloud.
I
on my
remember that.
phone.
Yeah.
And I bought the controller back then. Honestly, it's set this whole time. Like, I played a couple months of Game Pass and got rid of it, and it's been sitting for a while. First time I've used it in a long time. Batteries were all dead. So I'm getting used to that. I cannot get used to the D-pad under the joystick. Like, I'm sitting here playing, and I'm literally trying to hit the D-pad, and it's under the joystick. I just cannot get used to
Yeah,
that.
it's different.
I don't
Yeah.
use a D-pad that often. I feel like I think it's pretty much all most of the analog sticks for me.
Well,
Like,
in
most of the stuff I play.
Guardians, you use the D-pad to switch all the characters.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and I
that's
played
right.
through
Yeah.
it on PS5, so I've already played through it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just natural. I've always had a PlayStation. I've never owned an Xbox.
Yeah, that's not a very good like mouse and keyboard game either because like I find like in my personal preference of like anything is third person, I tend to like using a controller with the exception of maybe like Fortnite
Yeah.
or something like that. But most of those action games and stuff like that, I tend to use a controller if I can, you know. That's kind of weird though.
Yeah.
Like I've never really had too many issues with Epic, like a controller not working
Yeah, have I?
because I think my controller has worked fine with when I got my graphics card, I got Alan Wake 2, and that's on Epic as well. It's not on Steam yet, and
Okay.
that worked right away. But
Well,
maybe it's just
it's
set up in.
the only game I've tried on Steam. Or I meant on Epic. It's the only game. I have like 50 games through them.
Yeah,
Shadow of the
maybe give
Tomb
another one a
Raider,
shot. Maybe
Death
see if there's something just
Stranding.
in the game.
I got a ton of them through there, so that's the only one I've tried so far. So we'll
And
see.
maybe did you try looking in the settings on the game to see if there's an
Yeah.
option to like enable it?
Yep.
I mean, that's
Yep.
not very common, but I've seen it before.
Yeah, I guess there's a handful of games that's like that. That's the only way. That's how I found out the workaround to go. I didn't know you could add it to Steam, so I added it to Steam and I launched the game through Steam, and it seems to work just fine. It runs
and
good.
a non-Steam game, right? Yeah, I do that on the Steam Deck, but
and it
not too
runs
much.
good. It gets like 144 frames, everything maxed out. I'm actually surprised with this 4060 because everybody talked bad about it, but it was in my budget. But it seems to run great.
Right.
Yeah, combat's good, story's good.
Other than
Yeah, I
that,
mean, it
that's
depends on the
all I
games
played.
too, like how old the game is too. Like, like a 4060 will probably have a little bit of a harder time on something like brand spanking new, like something like Alan Wake 2 or something like that. It might
Yeah.
not do as well. But if you're gonna play stuff like, like Guardians of the Galaxy and all that kind of stuff, you're not gonna have any issues at all. I mean, most games you're not gonna have any issues at all until you really want to like crank up the resolution or the the graphic settings. But you can make adjustments here and there once you get used to it.
Well,
That's the
this
beauty
card
of it.
only has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. They have a 16 gigabyte model, but I was antsy when I ordered it, and I'm like, I'm ready to build it it was like a Saturday, and it was the last thing I needed is the card, and I wanted to build it on Sunday before I went to work Monday, and I'm like, the only thing I could get to come for 4060 was either a regular one or a TI 8 gigabyte version. I couldn't get the 16 gigabyte the next day, so I just got this. I would have gotten the 16 gigabyte version.
I'd stepped away for a second when you kind of talking about some of it. Did you say, or did anybody ask, like, how did your experience to go putting it together? Was it easier or harder than you thought?
It was super easy, like super easy. I had
Yeah.
no issues. Like I've seen people do it on YouTube videos, and I went to put it together. I looked at my manual a couple of times for a couple of the ARGB plugs just to find out exactly where there was, and I even put a PCIe card in because the case has a Type C port, and my motherboard doesn't have a Type C port, so I put a card in so I could use the port on the case. Actually, my case has 4 USB Type C ports on it now.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier than what people think. I believe, like people are like, oh, about getting into PC gaming and about building one, but the cost is there. But it's not that bad. I mean, it makes you nervous putting it together, and there's some little things here and there. You can be like,
That was the
oh, is this
funnest
right?
part, was
Yeah,
putting it
and
together.
it's
I'm like, "Man, can I get rid of this one and do another one?" Like, just to build it?
yeah, you get that bug. You want to start building and upgrading like occasionally, and you're like, okay, I want to do this or I want to do that. But
Yeah, it was kinda fun.
it's good
But
times, and it kind of gives you a new open area to play in too. You'll get some new games, like you said. You'll have access to these Game Pass games. So you said you got the PC Game Pass then, and so
mhm,
you'll have that. So you have all Xbox stuff now, and you get your Sony stuff. You're in a really good spot.
yeah,
It comes to
Yeah,
that, and then
but
you can chat.
controller only. I tried using the keyboard, man, forget it. I mean, it's gonna take some
yeah,
training.
it
Like,
it
that's
takes some
the
time.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
You'll get there. It just takes you, a little bit of time and muscle memory and stuff like that. But there's you got a lot of games in Game Pass you can kind of play and mess around with and stuff. That single player stuff where you can get used to the keyboard. Games like Frostpunk and stuff like that. Those city builders and stuff are really good with mouse and keyboard.
I don't see how
Real time
people
strategy
play
games.
Fortnite and all that with the
Oh
keyboard.
yeah,
I have a buddy that lives up by you in Columbus. His name's Tim, and he was on PS4, and I kept telling him, man, get a PS5. He's played multiple different games on PS4. I said, get a PS5, get a PS5. He got one like a year ago. Every time I see him, all he plays is Fortnite. That is the only game.
yeah.
the
If you
Fortnite
go to
box.
his games, yeah, his games and
Probably
trophies,
his
like
kid, maybe. Yeah,
it's him too, him and his kid. That's it.
yeah.
Fortnite. It's the only thing that's ever been played on that thing. Like not even the Astro that comes with nothing.
I did
So
mess around with that game just the other day. Actually, I forgot about that little Astro's Playroom, whatever it teaches the controller.
yeah.
I found like all the puzzle pieces. I'm kind of like really close. There's like a last room that has like 100 some pieces. I just gotta find those, and then I'm pretty much 100% at it. But I was kind of
Do you
playing around
ever
with that a little bit.
do you ever try to hunt for the platinum trophies to get
No,
like the
I'm
hundred
not.
percent?
Yeah, that'd be probably the only game I do it on because
It's easy.
most games I don't go back. Yeah, that game seemed like it's pretty straightforward. Just find those little puzzle pieces. But and that's kind of the main whole goal of the game. Is just finding those pieces. But
Yeah.
games like Spider-Man and stuff like that, where you got to find like the different stuff around the game, I usually don't look for those kind of things. I kind of like focus on the story and then get enjoying the story or whatever. So then I just kind of play the whole campaign, and sometimes I dive back in after I beat it, play some of the side quests here and there. But not very often. I'll go through and do like everything on the game and try to 100% it. Especially in any game that has a bunch of stuff to find and stuff like that. I don't like searching for too much stuff in a big open world. Sometimes.
Most of the first party games like Last of Us, Spider-Man, God of War, those games I have platinum trophies in, but most games I don't.
I was playing through the Last of Us 2 remake on the PS5, and the little trading cards. I find them when I find them, and I found a lot of them, but I'm sure I probably missed some here and there, so I don't know if I'll go back through. It depends how
Come
close
on,
I get.
you're
When I
going to
finish
check
game.
the YouTube, right? Now you got to
I
collect
don't
them
do
all.
that. I play through the game, and if I run across them, I run across them. But let's say if I get to the end of the game, I find like I'm like 90% of them I found on my own or whatever. I might go back and try to find the last 10%, but for the most part, I won't go back.
Yeah, because once you finish that game, I believe you can jump into whatever level or whatever biome after you complete
Can
it.
you? Yeah, that'd be nice. Because I know there's a bunch. I have not played the online mode that came with that special mode. I can't remember what it's called now.
I haven't even played it yet. I haven't even done that one yet.
Yeah, it's a mode that
just
came with
released it.
the remake or remaster, and it's you can unlock skins and stuff as well, and you can use those skins in that game. You can play as other characters as well.
Yeah,
But
I've seen that.
I am to the point where I am playing now as not Ellie, but the other one.
Dina?
Stepped away from it for like a week. What was that?
Dina?
No,
No, I forgot her name.
what is it, Ryan or Jesus?
Her girlfriend?
Jesus knows.
Abby, bro.
Abby,
Oh,
yeah,
Abby.
yeah. Buff Abby.
Come
That's where I'm
on.
playing. I'm playing as Abby now. So, but that's where I stopped playing it, and I've been kind of away from it this week. So usually I want to play that when the girlfriend's around, so she can watch and see the storyline progress as well.
I played through it on PS4. I haven't done it on the PS5 since they really. It's only like a $10 upgrade.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw the $10 upgrade on it. It's pretty good.
I just haven't done it.
I wonder if it'd be
that's all I
if
played.
it would have been cheaper for me to instead just buy it. But I think I only paid $59 for the game brand new.
Yeah,
If
you
I would
got
have
pretty
been cheaper to buy
Yeah.
used copy of the PS4 copy and then upgraded it. But
Yeah, for
I
$10.
don't know how much it was. How much is the game on the PS4 though?
I mean, if you
know?
go to like GameStop, you could probably get the copy
Yeah.
of for like $10, $15.
Yeah, I probably could have got away with maybe $30. But yeah, this was 50. But it's
Yeah.
digital. I prefer digital. That way I don't have to have a disc laying around. So
Sometimes I got all the discs too, and then lately I've been like, man, I really don't want to get my fat ass up and go change the disc half the time.
right.
So I was like, okay, this one's already downloaded. I'll play this.
Now that you got
I
Steam
don't think
Epic, you'll probably be more compelled to actually, buy more digital things,
Oh yeah,
Probably,
for
more
sure.
games digitally.
I won't have a choice.
Anything else you've been playing over there that you've been excited about, or
That's
on the
about
PC
it.
world, or
I mean,
Jay,
you helped me
any
out.
interest?
Like I literally built it and I installed Windows, and I'm like, ah, damn, a Windows key. Oh my God, Windows is so expensive. You helped me out with that, so that was great. I almost
Yeah,
was like,
they were
free,
mine
bro.
a key for that online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
So that
interest for any of you? I noticed nobody's talked about Helldivers 2, or anybody hasn't picked it up yet, or
I'm thinking about it.
I thought about it.
so that's on Steam and PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I just picked up a couple of new games tonight actually. There is a new Deep Rock game.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
called
only
Deep
like
Rock Survivors. It's
I think it's on
$10
sale.
Steam right now.
$7.
It is. It's $10 right now, and it's like Jesus. It's kind of like your Vampire Survivors, but it's a Deep Rock theme game. So it's kind of like an auto attack kind of thing, but you run different classes. It looks really fun for $10.
Hmm.
Deep Rock is really good already. So
Yeah, this is that top-down isometrical, right?
yes, and then the other game I picked up this week was I didn't play yet. Jesus is the Buddy Simulator 1984. I mentioned that last week. That is on sale as well.
You bought
So,
it?
yes, it's $5 right now on Steam. So.
Did you play it?
No, not yet. I will probably play it tonight after the podcast. Actually,
It's a good game, but it does get creepy, man. Like just a word of advice.
yeah, I anticipate.
It starts getting like really weird, and then like you're like, oh, okay, it's not that weird, and then you keep going, and it's like, okay, that's a little creepier than usual, and then it'll start like knowing shit about you that you didn't think it would know about you, and it will know a lot of things about you that you'll be like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, it's really weird game, man, but it's actually a lot of fun, and it's
Yeah,
I say it's a very unique game because it's something that I haven't seen other companies take advantage of. Like, except I'm assuming the way they do it right is they read some of your computer files and shit, and they figure out things about you that you didn't know about yourself. And then the game kind of takes advantage of that. It takes advantage of the fact that you're on Steam. It takes advantage of the fact that you're on a computer that has a lot of information about you on it, and it learns a lot about you really fast. And then it kind of starts testing you. Like, it'll make you do little tests. Like, I think I think it's like every chapter maybe it'll make you do it'll ask you a question like, okay, if this happened, what would you do? And then it like kind of asks you the question and you answer it, but like you're like, well, what the fuck was the point of that question? But it's almost like a psychological question where the game is just trying to build almost like a psychological profile on you, to see what kind of person you are, and then it fucks with you after that.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of what was that Open Season? I think it was. It was like the Duck Hunt type game.
Yeah.
It is like that,
I remember playing that game. I was like, what am I playing?
But Duck Hunt went creepy, like you weren't expecting it, and it happened, but it never really got to the level that this game gets to. This game, like I said, it like knows shit about you that you didn't think you knew. Or you wouldn't think it would ever know about you, Like it starts knowing things about you, like, oh, I know your date of birth. I know this. I know that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did you did you figure that out, And then like knows a lot of different other things about you, And it gets fucking creepy, but it's really well done, and I feel like other games should maybe try to implement that somehow. Like, I don't know, I could see like what was that game that was really creepy on the PS5? That PT game. Like, if they could make something like that, but a game that could legit like somehow start profiling you and realizing the type of person you are and adjust itself based to you.
They will, with all the new AI stuff coming out.
That would be you could make the ultimate creepiest game in the world if you did that, man. If you like figured out what is somebody afraid of? What are they really afraid of though? Like, not just, oh, I'm afraid of clowns, or I'm afraid of spiders, I'm afraid of snakes, I'm afraid of the dark. No, like, what are you most afraid of? Like, once they start figuring how to use that and fuck with you really hard, that'll be the ultimate gaming thing. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be like some crazy shit.
I seen a trailer on YouTube of a game. You guys might have seen it too. That was AI generated. Like, everybody's quests will be different. I think it's like a character goes into like a bar and he's talking to the bartender, and just random conversation. And you bring something up, and you'll get like your own quest. But if like Mayo or Jesus or anybody else plays it, you could go in and ask them something else, and my game would never be the same as your game. It's all completely generated immediately. They generate all the side quests. Like, that's the future of the games now. That's the way they're going to end up. It was from what I seen, I was like, wow, that would be simply amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
See, there's one right now that I'm reading that says that it's a free-to-play game. Even though it says free-to-play, it also charges for a subscription.
Probably $10, right?
No, yeah. So it's not really. I guess it's free-to-play, but not really. It says here that it's free-to-play, but there's a $10 adventurer bundle, a $15 hero bundle, and a $29.99 per month. These are all per month bundle, and apparently you get credits. And apparently this game is it's a text adventure game that is being ran by AI. So the AI will continuously play with you and just have you do quests based on the answers that you give it, just like a text adventure, like any kind of text adventure.
You can do that right now through the Chat GPT. I have it on my phone, and you can literally go in and give it a prompt, like just say, hey, Spider-Man or Batman was in a city, this and this is going on, he runs into some robbers, what happens next? And it'll fill in, and then it'll ask you to fill some in, then it'll fill it in. You can do that right now with Chat GPT.
Yeah, this game is called AI Dungeon, the one that I'm looking at right now. So I just googled AI generated games. That's the first thing that popped up.
Don't shock me. It's all going AI. Everything about CES this year that I seen was AI, everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
yeah, we hear more and more companies, bigger game publishers talking about, implementing more AI into their games.
People are going to be losing a lot of jobs.
Yeah, that's the sad part, right? Where I thought, no, we need writers, right, for games, So
anything else you've been playing?
What else, guys? Nothing. I think Jay walked away.
There he is.
No,
anything else, Jay? You've been playing on the PC? Anything cool?
That was it.
Yeah. Oh, Jay, did you play that? What was that game that came out to PS5? That was announced at the event that they did. I think it was like a free game like PT.
Silent Hill Short Message.
Yeah, did you play that?
I played maybe 30 minutes of it. I couldn't get into it. There was a lot of walking around, not a lot going on. It's about some girl with her phone. It wasn't that interesting to me. It really wasn't. But I didn't give it that much of a chance. I played it for like maybe 30 minutes, and it was just a lot of walking around, not a lot going on, reading texts on her phone. Supposed to meet a friend there, but her friend wasn't there. But some creepy stuff's happening, some noises and this and that. And I just ended up stopped playing it.
Yeah, so like me with horror games where I'm like, all right, it's either, I get chased by something or,
I'm looking forward to the new Silent Hill coming out.
Yeah, I did hear about that. So,
and Final Fantasy Rebirth coming up soon too, and Stellar Blade. That's another game I'm really looking for. Other than that, there ain't a lot of games coming out this year that I'm really looking forward to. Stellar Blade, that looks real good.
Talking that we might be waiting until 2025.
You've seen trailers of Stellar Blade, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only game, that and Final Fantasy, that I'm looking forward to this year. That's why I'm kind of happy to see what's coming out for Xbox and check out some of these Steam games.
Yeah, always something.
You're in a good spot right there on the PC and the Xbox Game Pass now, at least new to you.
Yeah.
Me, I can look at Game Pass. I'm like, okay, I played this, I played that, or I'm kind of bored with this and that.
There is one
Steam,
game.
You got a lot of options right now.
There's one game that I've been dying to play on Xbox. What's that guy's name that's in it? He's an actor, Sean something other. It's like a time game.
The Remedy game?
I think maybe it's by Remedy.
No, because didn't that come to PlayStation? Maybe it didn't.
No. It's I had it on my wish list. Take a look. What was his name? Sean something. He's also in the TV series The Rookie. He plays an attorney in it.
It's something that's already out or something? Like a first party or
hold on one second.
No, but while you're looking for that, I do want to pick up Helldivers Mail. I know the servers are like really
Quantum Break.
Yeah, Quantum Break. So I know that I couldn't remember. I remember so I guess that was just kind of an Xbox thing at the time. So yeah. That's from the makers from, Alan Wake and those guys. So
extremely excited to play that. I like that guy a lot. Everything he was in a TV series a long time ago with
I do remember that series.
The Following, I think it was called.
Yeah. Yes, The Following was really good.
Yeah.
That was a really good show.
So I've never played Quantum Break and I'm looking forward to it.
And also he does show up in Alan Wake 2, by the way.
Really?
Yes. I won't give any spoilers, but he's throughout it. So
same guy.
Same guy. Yep.
Oh wow.
So I believe it is Sean, the one you're speaking of. So because I'm like, hey, I know this guy from Quantum Break.
Speaking of them, have you tried playing Control? Have you played that game from them yet?
I played it, on the PS5 when it came out. I played maybe half of it, and then something came out, and I never went back.
Gotcha. I really enjoyed that game. That game was a really good game from them as well.
Yeah.
I think they gave it away free on Epic. I might have that on Epic.
Yeah, I think I own it on Epic on there, but I also have it on Steam. So that is a good game.
That was my game of the year. What 20?
Gunny and I gave a game of the year a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. The
Maybe
action,
I'll try that on the PC.
Combat was so much fun. So, but then all that DLC came out, and I was like, I'm kind of like over it, Like I just played it so much of it. I felt I'm like, I'm not gonna go back to it. Get out of here.
Did any of you guys play Quantum Break?
I played half. I went halfway through Quantum Break.
Yeah, I beat it.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good from what I remember of it. It's not like memorable. I can't think of like many parts of the game where.
Do you think it would be dated now, Jesus? If Jay's wanting to go back and play that, do you think it's going to feel dated? That's a pretty old game.
No.
It looks good from what I see. It looks real good.
I believe it was 4 chapters, correct?
I don't remember how many chapters it was. I know how it ended. I remember that. I remember some parts of the game. But yeah, it's actually a pretty generic story. Is you and another guy are scientists or whatever, and the guy's trying to build like a quantum loop machine or whatever, where you can like time travel with it or like enter alternate universes or some shit. Control time somehow.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do. And then
I have it downloaded. I haven't played it yet, so don't spoil the ending.
He ends up making it, and then he ends up getting crazy, and then you end up becoming like his enemy somehow, even though you were like his partner at some point, and you end up becoming like his enemy, and then you end up going through the city and fighting cops and shit, trying to kill this guy or whatever. And there's some
And
pretty cool like moments in the game though where you have like that
you can manipulate time, right?
yeah, you manipulate time and you have like these powers where like for example, say like a SWAT team breaks into a room and you're in the room, you can kind of pause time for a little bit. And even like if they're like say they're shooting at you from the get-go and they're just shooting all these bullets at you, you can put up like this force field around you that stops time and then it kind of stops all the bullets and you can make the bullets flip around and go the other direction. And so when you let the
Oh,
time force go, all the bullets are shooting back at the cops or whatever, or the
nice.
guys trying to kill you. I don't even know if they're cops. It might be like a government agency or something. But
The time police. I don't know.
I'm excited about that game. I've been wanting to play that
but
game
yeah,
for a couple
it's a
years.
it's a cool game, and I know it has the TV show part to it as well. Like I remember while playing it, every once in a while, like you beat a chapter, and then like a fucking episode would start. And then
Really?
you'd be like, oh, like
Yeah, yeah.
this episode ties into the story that you were just playing somehow. And then you watch the episode and then you continue playing the game. And I think all the episodes are probably on YouTube now. Somebody probably spliced them all together or something
But
if you want to just watch that.
there's no TV series called Quantum Break, right?
No, but it
Okay.
plays out
No,
like one.
Okay.
no, but the show is like a TV show. Like it's not like a CGI show. It's like
Real actors.
real actors.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like real actors acting out the things that kind of just they don't really act out what you just did, but they act out like kind
Like
of the
cutscenes?
reaction. Kind of yeah, like a cutscene, like it's a reaction of what's going on to the world based on the things that you just did or whatever.
Okay.
It was back when Microsoft was doing all their stupid like every game that we make is gonna have a TV show tie-in to it.
It was like
Remember
one of their
that?
Xbox One launch games, right? Or not a
Yeah.
launch game, but it
I was gonna
was.
say, how old
Yeah.
is that game?
2013, I think.
Really?
2014?
Yeah, see, it's an older title.
Wow. I didn't think it was that old.
2016, it says here.
Yeah, 2016.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
what I
not
was
a
thinking.
launch game, but still, yeah, one of their first party games through a third party
That's a
publisher.
pretty big file size too. On PC, it's 42 gig for back in 2016.
Yeah, it was huge, but I remember some of that was the TV show part of it. Like you could totally play the game, and I think there might have been an option back then. I don't know if there might be now too, where you could like not download the TV show part of it.
Just stream
So
it.
so
maybe?
the game would just play like from from like chapter 1 to chapter 2 without the TV part,
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
and you would just play without the TV part of it, whatever. But the TV part really ties in the story kind of all together. Like you really want to watch that to be able to understand
Oh, I will. Yeah.
the universe or whatever. Because if you don't, and you just go like chapter to chapter, it might not make a whole lot of fucking sense to you. You might be like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, why am I now fighting this guy? Who the hell? Like, who is this chick that's helping me all of a sudden, or who is this person that's helping me?" Like,
I think Mayo was right. I downloaded it already. I haven't touched it, but I think it was 40 something gigs for the download. But Starfield was like 140 something.
Yeah, that's getting common nowadays. Some games have some big files nowadays.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy on PC was like, I want to say 80 or 90 something, but on the PS5 it's like 35 or 40, but it has that cracking compression file thing for the PS5. I was like, why is it so much bigger? PC.
Yeah,
game.
probably textures. You probably have a few more graphics options, probably.
Yeah, well,
There's
yeah.
probably different textures for higher graphic settings and stuff.
Yeah.
What's
I've
Gunny
seen.
been playing?
Oh man, I was just looking at what the heck was it Baldur's Gate 3? I know I bought that on Steam, not Xbox, because I wasn't sure if it was going to come there, but over to Xbox. But man, they're always doing huge updates on there. But no, I did not play Baldur's Gate because a lot of my time has been Pal World, but I'll get to that in a second. That seemed like all I've talked about for the last 2 episodes. But yeah, but back to Starfield, because I did play that today before starting the show. And it was kind of a random thing where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start up a new gameplay. Ghost Nico's been talking about it. Jesus has been talking about it. I'm like, I might as well just go back, try to mainline the story on it. But for me, like I told you, I still don't like the space combat. It's not I don't know. There's something about it. Not that I'm bad at it or whatever, because in the beginning it's just like, all right, you got to lock on to the enemy and fire missiles, but at the same time you're using your lasers and all this other stuff. To me, it just feels generic. So I don't know. But everything else, is good, right? All the the shooting and exploring through different once you're on a planet, you're at a base, or like for example today, like I decided like, oh, okay, I found like an abandoned kind of a space station, but it was a casino. It wasn't part of the story, but it was right next to it. I'm like, I might as well just dock with this thing, and doesn't seem like it's going to be a long. It wasn't even a side mission, right? It was like, hey, what's on here? Oh, I went and killed like 15 enemies with no gravity. Found a lot of ammo and a couple guns, and I did find a little secret area to unlock, but I didn't bother like going to YouTube to see what the password was or where I could even find it. But it was still fun, stuff like that. So then it was just back to the mission part. But yeah, who was the guy? I'm trying to think of his name that you meet in the beginning. His name's Sam Coe. So now I'm on this mission with him, and he's part of. I think he's like he might be a ranger. I'm not 100%, but we're on like his home planet, and you go over there and just quickly like there's like a bank robbery in progress. You go through the back door and take care of the bandits, and but all that seems really seamless to me. Almost like I feel like I'm playing like a updated version of like Fallout New Vegas or something. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I feel, and that's the stuff I really like about this game. So anything that takes place down on a planet, obviously just collecting a lot of cool stuff as much as I can, leaving the junk behind. So the guns all feel good, and yeah. So I don't know. I'm not looking forward to the space combat though, man. So I'm gonna try to avoid any of it, but explore as many planets as possible. That's kind of my goal. So yeah, I guess if I do take out a ship or whatever, and I'm able to, let's say, hijack that ship or whatever, and take everybody out on it and add that ship to my collection, I'll do it. So I don't think I'm going to spend too much time trying to upgrade my ship and tweak it out as much as possible. As long as it's strong enough to get through a battle, I'm good with that. So but yeah, Ryan picked up I picked up that game Prince of Persia. I know that there was a demo out for that. So this is that 2D side-scrolling platformer game, and
Yeah,
I haven't gotten.
I played the demo. It was fun.
Yeah, demo is really good. It's really bright and colorful, and not something I'm really interested in the story, but the controls feel really good. Like I'm sure it's the same probably on a PlayStation controller, where I think it's like right triggers kind of your slide, and the X button on the Xbox controller is like either your block or like your actual attack button. So but yeah, but it's fast, it's fun. So like I said, not too far into it now that I actually purchased it. So made it actually further in the actual demo. But I think I chose guided. So a little handicap there, a little baby mode for me, to kind of see what the difference is between guided and non-guided. So find out what the heck what difference that makes. So hope I can get into that game more. Over on the Steam Deck, not much there, due to Pal World time, but yeah, more Death Must Die. I think do you like any of those games, Jay? Like any of those games like Vampire Survivors, or I'm sure you might have heard of Brotato. I think that might now be on PlayStation, but I know it's definitely on Steam.
I haven't played Vampire Survivors. I don't multiplayer games. I usually don't play too many.
No, these are all like your single player game only. Yeah, so Vampire Survivors, I think it was first on Android phones, then iPhones, and then it finally came to Steam and consoles. So, man, you could probably describe this game a little better, even though I put, lots of time into each, and Jesus played it a lot.
Yeah,
speaking of,
it's basically where you just auto attacks for you, and you kind of run around, and it's got hordes of enemies that come running in, and you basically try to survive. It's like a top-down view, and basically you get gear, and you gotta see how long you can last. You kind of level up. I know Jesus played quite a bit of it. He played pretty far into it. It's a very simple game. That's kind of like what this new Deep Rock game is like as well. So that I didn't play the Vampire Survivors, but I know Jesus and Gunny did. But I know about it. Brotato is the same kind of concept. It's basically you get some weapons, and you have a room, and there's a whole bunch of enemies coming at you, and they'll start dropping weapons, and you can pick them up, and you get stronger and stronger, and you get deeper in the game, and it starts throwing more enemies at you, and you're just trying to dodge them and stay alive, and it auto attacks everybody for you. You're just running around trying not to get hit or lose all your health, and you keep getting more weapons, and some of that stuff will be permanent upgrades for your character. You can get like money or whatever, and you'll permanently upgrade your character and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I feel like
It's
all
a
three of
simple
those
game.
games, Jay, are like all different. Like in a way that like Vampire Survivors. Well, I know that game, the further you get into it, like the more stuff you can choose. I think you can choose prior to an actual run, because I know Death Must Die is more like a Diablo, where you can choose a weapon, armor, boots, the whole 9 yards as far as that go. Not like in depth like a Diablo game, but kind of reminds me of a Diablo 2. So, but it's not so much like, stat wise or stuff like that, but you're kind of going back into the same map in Death Must Die. But it has that Diablo-esque look to it or feel. So yeah. But yeah,
I mean, Vampire Survivors is on Game Pass, Jay. So that's something
okay.
you
Oh
can
yeah,
pick up.
check that
It's a
out.
very, very inexpensive game, but it is on Game Pass.
And
It's a very old
Brotato.
school looking game.
Brotato's on there
Brotato as
also.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, that just
Brotato.
came out.
I'll make a note of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one thing I like I keep talking about those because that's like my Steam Deck fun right there, with like Brotato, where the more runs you do or the more you keep going back into the game, the more kind of characters it unlocks. So and then and it's cool, like you just kind of get like a starting character that might say this
Okay.
character's crazy or whatever, or this is your more balanced character, right? So some just start off with like a simple little butter knife or something like that, but they have a higher stat to collect more of the actual whatever they're calling it in the game that like a
I like the
wider
art.
range or something.
I like the art style of that Brotato. I just found it.
Yeah, it's fun, it's bright, it's colorful. So that's the one that's like it's got a really small kind of map to it, like it's very sandbox, right? Like it's not like the other two games where they're just like unlimited, like super large dungeon rooms or something like that. So yeah, so that one plays a lot faster, I feel than Vampire Survivors. But yeah, back to good old Pal World. I've just been playing that here on the desktop, not so much on the Steam Deck. So, but I've got that running pretty good on the Steam Deck. I think at like what is it, like 42 frames a second or whatever, Mayo, lowering and just
That's
tweaking some settings. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So but yeah, I watched some like Jay say, find anything on YouTube. So I found some pretty good we're like, yeah, just make this lower and all these medium settings, and yeah, it actually runs pretty good. So
have you tried that bandwagon yet, Jay? Pal
Mm-mm.
World?
No, I just now clicked that to play later.
Yeah, that's another Game Pass game right now. You probably
But I
like it. I
did-
mean, it's a crafting survival,
Has
but
any of
it's
you
a lot of
guys
fun.
done any of the cloud streaming? Like I streamed High on Life on the
I have a couple
PC,
times.
and I was shocked at how responsive it was. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't the best visually, but it was very responsive and played very
Yeah, it just
well.
depends on your internet. Like I have a TV that has an Xbox app built into it. So in my bedroom here, there's actual I have a Samsung TV and there's a Game Pass app built in, and I can Bluetooth the controller right to my TV, and I can do like any game through the cloud.
How's
That
the
way and
latency?
stream. I have decent internet here. It's not too bad. There's some games I'll notice it, like some games, but if it's something single player or something like that, I have no problem like jumping in and messing around with it. But I also
For a
have my
single
PC
player
right here.
shooter, like it High on Life, it was playable. I was like, wow, this is. I didn't have to download it. I was pretty
It's a
impressed.
nice way. It's for me what I use it for the most probably is like checking out a game whether I don't know if I'm going to like it or not.
yeah,
I just get in there because you don't have to worry about like downloading the game and installing it. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll play it off the cloud. I'll play a little bit in and maybe play the first 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, okay, I might like this kind of game, so and then I'll stop it. I'll download it and play it, actually through download on my PC, where I can optimize the settings because it will like cut down your resolution sometimes. Sometimes it might, like on the edges might, be 720 or something like that, and it'll upscale in the center with your DLSS and stuff. But, if you can run it on the PC with, native, it might run
Yeah.
so much better. And so I'll see if I enjoy it and then I'll just install it.
I know
Yeah.
Gunny's talking about his games, but I forgot to mention I did get the PS Portal, the
Oh
remote
yeah,
player
yeah. How is
for the
that?
PS5. It works good. Like
So
I
let
use
me
it all
ask
the
you. So
time.
then, like, do you have to be at home, or can you take it with you to
I've
another
taken it.
Wi-Fi?
I've taken it to my mother's. I've taken it to my brother-in-law's over Thanksgiving, and it worked
Okay,
pretty good.
cool.
I mean, you could tell you're playing on cloud, but like Mayo said, single player game, it works just fine. You ain't gonna play no Fortnite or Call of Duty on it, I don't think, and get anywhere. But for like God of War or Spider Man or something like that, it worked great.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I see those are always sold out. So
Yeah, I think they still are.
yeah, once in a while
I
I'll see it. Jesus, I'll send you like usually something from Costco. I don't know if you have to pick that up or not, but
I pre-ordered it like a month before it came out, so I got lucky.
sweet. Yeah, but good old Pal World. I'm level 35, Jesus. I only cheated once, Jesus, that one time where I went up 2 levels, but I've been back to it. That's why I'm only level 35. But I've just been grinding away, man. Just progressing through it. You know, tightening up my base, trying to put some big old fortified walls around it. But I got to get enough cement. So kind of working on that. And I have a nice ore farm going now. Now I've got these things called Digitoys. That's actually the name of them. They're basically the giant turtles. So I found those in a hot region. So I had to go out there and, you know, capture those guys and bring them back to an ore farm because now I have 3 bases. So yeah, just that second base basically is just for ore farming, and so they're just breaking all that stuff down for me. I can bring it back to my other base, make some ingots out of it, and yeah. So basically, my ingots that can make. Right now, my plan is just to make a lot of handgun ammo because I haven't been using like a handgun. I've just been using like a bow, like an epic bow, and I think that does like 240 damage. So I think once I get enough ammo for an actual pistol, then I can start taking it out and getting some higher level enemies. So at the same time, I'm trying to keep at least 3 out of the 5 pals that are in my party. Like I've been upgrading them. So, and you can do that with, I think, what is it? I forgot what they're actually called, but I think they're called pal souls. So you can just find those, I think, randomly throughout the world. So anytime I see them
on the ground and stuff.
Yeah. So I always recommend, like, if you're on a flying pal, I try to, if I'm in an area, like I'm always trying to fly as close as I get into the ground, but I feel like I can see them pretty easily where I kind of know what it is. And because sometimes they'll actually it'll flash at you as well, along with other items. So I'm always going lower, like, yep, that's a pal. So let me grab that thing. Some are large, some are small. So yeah, get those, the PAL effigies or whatever they are. That's going to be for the statue for your upgrade. That'll be upgrade your capture, what do you call it, Mayo? That's the your success in how you capture a actual PAL. So
Like the odds, right?
yeah, pretty much. So it increases it. So always just out trying to collect as much stuff as possible, trying to get new PALs. The other thing I've been doing is I don't know exactly how it works, but I'll be like, okay, so let's say I find a lift monk or whatever, right? And there's and it even shows you oh, you've collected 10. I don't know if there's a timer on that. Like you can go back and collect another 10, like how that actually works. But then that's how you're going to get more skill points. So it's a lot of busy work, man. A lot of making food for everybody and that game just sucks so much time. But I actually didn't play it at all today. I'm like, all right, that's enough. I have to actually play something else. So yeah, my plan was to play more Prince of Persia, but Starfield took up most of my time. So especially throughout the week. So and other games on the Steam Deck as well. So, but I was going to mention, Jay, I did. You know what I did try on the cloud because I wasn't sure I'd like it. I didn't talk about it last week, and I think that was a game called Cocoon.
I've seen that. I started that. I forgot to mention that. I started that for about 20 minutes too.
Yeah, there was Cocoon. That was the puzzle one, right? So then
Yeah.
I didn't much care for it. So I just got to a point to where I don't know. There was 2 statues you can choose.
Oh, okay. I got to a spot where there was 2 things sliding, and I got frustrated, and
That's where I quit too. That's right. Yep.
Same spot.
So same spot, and then I noticed it had markings on the ground. I'm like, okay, you're gonna make me YouTube this, aren't you? And I'm like, do I really want to YouTube it? And I'm like, no, I don't. I just want to quit. So I'm not into the heavy puzzler game. So, but it looks good, right? Like I don't know, like it's a pretty little game, but no. I think I played that through the cloud and then the rock climbing game. So I can't even think of the name of that game right now. So didn't care for that much either. So it's a good game though, Mayo. If you like rock climbing, you can play. I can probably find it here on.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that game was called. I remember when they previewed it.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. So see if it actually goes everything in here. I want to say it might have been Ubisoft or whatever made this. Can't remember. So
Which
yeah.
game?
It was a rock climbing game. I know it came to Game Pass.
Just saw it?
Yeah, that was it. Just saw it. Yeah. So I made it to just whatever point in the game, and then I don't know. It would seem boring to me, but the climbing was good. Like that actually worked. So, but not for me. But that's all I've been playing, guys.
I think that might even have something to do with the same studio that just did Banishers Ghost of New Eden, maybe?
I thought it was
That
Ubisoft
publisher?
that did it.
Oh, maybe. Was that
That did
Ubisoft?
Jusant.
Okay. Maybe I was mistaken. Yeah,
All
I
right.
think I was mistaken.
Well, Gunny, it's news time. So,
News.
Bonnie, there's some Sony news. Okay. Sony. Okay. While Sony had previously hoped to ship a record of 25 million PlayStation consoles during its current fiscal year ending in March, last week it said during its latest quarterly earning results that it now expects to miss that target by 4 million units. Following the earnings report, Sony shares fell as much as 8.4% and closed down at 6.5% loss. Partly as a result of the revised PS5 hardware sales forecast, but also partly due to a drop in operating margin in Sony's gaming business to 6% compared to the 9% in December quarter of 2022 and the 12 to 13% in the years before that. Now, on a new report on CNBC, in which the news outlet has made a calculation using FactSet data, suggests this drop in share price has resulted in over $10 billion of value being wiped off from Sony's stock since the forecast cut. So there's that. So yeah, they're apparently saying that there are decade lows for their gaming division. Said a few years ago their margins were 12 to 13%, and now they're at 6%, which is very low. And they also said that their margins should be rising instead of falling, because they have a lot of hardware sales going up. But yeah, that's not really
Got
helping.
enough software coming out.
So they say the revenue on digital sales and add-on content and digital downloads are at an all-time high, but their margins are at decade lows, and that's not acceptable. So during its latest quarterly financial earnings call last week, Sony did say they expect the PS5 hardware sales to gradually decline during the next fiscal year from April 2024 to March 2025, and they confirmed its plans to release no major existing franchise titles during this 12-month period. So that's crazy. No major existing franchise titles.
Wonder why their
Sony.
hardware is going to decline. Maybe they need to put some games out.
So that means they don't have any God of War planned, no Horizon planned.
I mean, we've kind of said that for a while, right?
No
Because when the
Last of
PS5
Us
came out, like a lot of their big games, their God of War came out and their Spider-Man came out. Like we saw a lot of that stuff, so we're like, it's going to take them a couple of years to develop something new, anyways.
Yeah, we ate good for a while. Now there's nothing for at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
So hopefully Microsoft sees an opportunity to start releasing some games, huh? We'll see.
Yeah,
But that's a lot of.
They're trying, right?
All right,
Yeah,
so maybe you guys can break it down to me in like layman's terms here, because I don't understand. I mean, if they're doing so good, on console sales, but I don't know. I guess there's margins involved, but I still feel like that. I mean, they sold a fuck ton of consoles. Like, I don't understand why their stock would lose.
Sales, though. It's all software sales.
Yeah.
No new games coming out for a while. That's why I'm looking forward to the new Xbox games coming out this year.
Yeah, and Jay's always been hardcore, Sony as long as I've known him, and he's kind of now looking,
Well, the games were constantly releasing, so I always had something to play. But now I knew there wasn't going to be nothing, so I'm like, well, I don't look down on I'm play game wherever I can.
Right.
So I'm looking at the exclusives list. So next month we have. Okay, look at the exclusives list. So this month we have a game called Pacific Drive. It's an upcoming first-person survival game that's coming to the PS5 and PC on February 22nd. Set in the Pacific Northwest. You'll have to do whatever it takes to survive, whether it's on foot or on your trusty station wagon.
Yeah, I think there's a demo for it on Steam, or was.
Throughout Pacific Drive, you need to avoid hostile metal monsters that latch onto your car, and when you're not escaping dangerous situations, you can fully customize your car at a garage that acts as your main base. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out on the 29th of February. So there's that. Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin is coming out March 22nd. It's an action RPG set in 1863 Japan by developers Team Ninja that is due to release March 22nd. So they made games like Noah and Wulong Fallen Dynasty.
Yep, that's right. I remember they made those.
It says here the game looks to be to immerse players in a samurai journey across Japan amid the Boshin War. There's an open world to explore and a big emphasis on player choice as your decisions will impact the fate of the characters you'll meet, as well as the overall ending of the story. Stellar Blade comes out in April, and then...
That's the one I'm waiting on, Stellar Blade. That one looks really good.
Some game called Eternites. Eternites? So there's that coming out in September. That came out last September. No, so this is it. This is it for this year. We got Pacific Drive, Final Fantasy, and Rise of the Ronin.
Well, they're supposed to release that Concord game this year too sometime, but there's no date from I think isn't that who develops Destiny?
Bungie.
Bungie, I think it's coming from Bungie Concord. I think it's supposed to come out this year.
No, isn't it Marathon or is it?
Was it called Marathon?
Is it?
That was the game they were gonna make it first, right?
Well, that's the game they've been working on, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that one. I think it's Concord. Maybe I'm wrong.
Concord game. Says here, Concord is a multiplayer FPS from Firewalk Studios.
Okay, that one, yeah. Not Bungie Firewalk.
It's a PvP multiplayer first-person shooter coming to the PS5 and PC in 2024. And it looks kind of cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Not much here to look at. But in other news, Phil Spencer's came out, Gunny, and he spoke. Okay? He spoke.
What did good old Uncle Phil say?
Okay, listen. Phil Spencer pretty much said, look, man, he said any Xbox game could come to PS5, but not every Xbox game will come to the PS5.
What? So, that doesn't make sense.
He said any game could come to the PS5, but not every game will come to the PS5. So apparently, I think they have...
Four. We're only putting 4.
Yeah.
4 games so far.
So far, yeah.
Was that PlayStation, or did they include the Switch? I wasn't sure if there was talk of...
Yeah, no, they
both
mentioned
consoles.
both of them, but they didn't say if it was like all 4 on both systems or not, or how they plan on doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I think they said like Skull and Bone, or it might be like Skull and Bones, Grounded, and I forget the other 2.
Sea of Thieves, actually.
Sea of Thieves, yeah.
Sea of Thieves, not Skull and Bones, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Grounded.
Yeah, it's rumored what those 2, and I'm trying to remember what the other 2 were.
Starfield was a rumor, but then that was squashed.
Yeah, they squashed
that. Oh, yeah, there's no Starfield.
For now.
Hi-Fi Rush.
That was it.
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hi-Fi Rush was a good game. Like, I feel like that's probably the most enjoyable one of the bunch. Like, I guess if you never played Sea of Thieves, you might like it on the PS5 or the on the Switch. But probably
isn't that PCU or PC intensive? Like, I don't know. Do you think they can get that running on a Switch, on the Switch that we have now?
I think so. I think
it's a smaller file.
Graphically isn't nothing too crazy. It's an older Xbox game. It's been up for a little while, so I feel like they'll be able to put that on the Switch pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get Doom and Diablo on the Switch. Yeah, I think you can get Sea of Thieves to work on it.
Yeah, but I could see more Sea of Thieves coming to PlayStation than an actual Switch. Not the Switch we have now.
I think they can get it running on Switch too.
Yeah. But while Jesus is getting that ready, I know that there was the podcast with Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Sarah Bond. It was like 22 minutes long. I didn't actually listen to the entire thing. I think I caught the last 10 minutes when I was driving. So I don't know. Like,
I didn't really feel like they said a whole lot. Really, they just kind of kept reassuring, that it's only
It was
going to be
more
a couple games, and kind of
Yeah.
talking about again just how we're going to have
Play
Game Pass,
anywhere.
and play everything anywhere, and we're going to continue to do exclusives. We're not abandoning that. And they said that they kind of threw a hint out there about like development of another console down the road, and it's going to be the most. They said, what was it? I've seen a couple articles pop up
The
on it. Like it's
greatest
be the most
generational leap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Sarah Bond said that. It's going to be the greatest
generational
leap. Yeah.
And we've heard that before a million times. I think every time we hear
Right.
this
It
concept come
won't
out.
be. It won't. What do you think
And-
they'll do to it? What do you think they'll do
I have
to it?
no
How many-
idea.
How many teraflops this time?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
35 teraflops.
I don't remember what the last ones were. But
The
it's going
last
to be what we're dealing with now, probably in our hardware now. On PCs, it's going to be equivalent to like a 4000 series GPU. So we're not going to see anything. On the PC end of it, nothing's going to be too big, different from us from what we've seen already. But it'd be nice just to get true 4K games all the time at 60 frames. That's what they need to work on.
Yeah.
So, guys, I
Or-
appreciate you having me, but I have to dip.
Go, man. Appreciate you coming
Thanks
on.
for coming on, Jay. Appreciate you.
I love coming when you guys have me, and it's always a good time, and I appreciate it. I listen every week. I never miss an episode. So
Nice.
Awesome. Glad to have you on.
Yeah, for sure.
Glad you got your PC up and running.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll
come over and
tell
hang
ya.
out in the Discord, and we're usually hanging around, talking games and stuff like that. Jump in
Sounds
some
good.
live channels here and there, and we're kind of hanging out. I'll probably be on later on tonight, messing around for a while yet.
Well, I have to be up at 4, so I think I'm going to be getting some shut eye. So you guys have a great show, and thanks for having me.
Yep, have a good one.
Thank you too. Later. Bye.
Yeah, well, Microsoft said they're going to be shipping 4 games to other platforms. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't think that they're going to stop at 4 games.
No.
I don't think so. It's not going to happen. If for anyone who thinks they'll just stop at 4 games, you are fucking crazy. They're not going to stop at 4 games.
Yeah.
They will see the success of it, and they'll be like, you know what? Let's do more.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
just
they're going to
li-
see
that's
this as
just
a
little
test.
It's just a play test, is what it is. It's like, oh, we'll throw a couple of these multiplayer games out there, see how they do. And I'm trying to remember the whole group of games. Like I said, there's that fourth one I'm missing in my head. But Sea of Thieves is multiplayer. Kind of an open world multiplayer. And then you have Hi-Fi Rush, which is like a little action game. Is a shooter in that group? It's kind of almost like one of each
I don't
genre.
know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what that last game was too, but it just feels like they just did a little, like they're doing a little test of each game and see how it performs on different consoles, and see what kind of traction they get. And like you said, Jesus, I don't think we'll see the end of it yet.
Yeah, but I feel like
we can give them Redfall for a little while. They can enjoy Redfall.
Mayo, that was Pentiment. Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment,
yes.
Sea of Thieves, and Grounded.
Did you play Pentiment, Jesus?
No.
I played 15 minutes of it. Was Pentiment? I think that was more. I think it was a side scroller. Yeah, just mainly dialogue from what I've experienced. But the writing was really good. I'll give it to that. Writing was really good. But yeah, so I was like, okay, not for me. It's not my kind of game. This action side scroller. But maybe there was combat. I don't think there was. But yeah, man, I could definitely see, like, let's assume like a Sea of Thieves, and they say, yeah, no, it's going to be available on PlayStation, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, man. If 3 million people buy that game, or 4 or 5 or whatever, like, because they're just casuals or whatever, they don't listen to podcasts or in the know of things, like, it's a new game, check it out, like, get their friends in there and play it. So I'm sure Microsoft's going to be like, damn, we just sold 4 million more copies, got to put more games on there. See them doing it in the future. So
speaking about this, a former 343 senior lead designer tweeted out about how Microsoft failed to really innovate on Halo and Gears of War. He said that at 343 Industries, they must have pitched 20 to 30 game ideas over the 12 years he was there that would have totally worked in the Halo universe. He said many were single-player and multiplayer ODST-themed ones. Some were galaxy-spanning, some were more intimate, and one was really dark, he said. But he said Microsoft pretty much rejected all of them. They just said no to any of these ideas. And they said even beyond that, the Rare team, the team over at Rare, came to Microsoft and told them, "Hey guys, like we are Rare. We know what the fuck we're doing, and we have some games for you." Apparently, there's like 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 games on this list that Rare pitched to Microsoft, but Microsoft denied them all and told them, "No, you will continue making Sea of Thieves. You will now work on these games." And Rare was like, "What the fuck?" Okay. Apparently, it says here that this is one of the reasons why a lot of people left Rare, because they felt like Microsoft wasn't giving them what they wanted in fulfillment of their like satisfaction, like work satisfaction. They weren't happy with what
Yeah.
they were working on, so they just kind of left the studio to work for other studios, and they said they lost a lot of talent that way. And that's why a lot of people also left 343 Industries, because they saw that Halo, even though they could expand Halo to be something different than what it is, they could have made it bigger, cooler, more expensive, bigger universe to play in. And Microsoft said no to all of it. And so a lot of people left 343 Industries. Now, with that being said, after Halo, what was the last one? What was the last one called? Infinite?
Infinite, yeah.
After Halo Infinite launched, a lot of people got let go from the team at Halo. Like a lot of the higher ups got let go because obviously the game, I don't think it did very well. I mean, it did okay and it's still doing okay. I don't think it did the numbers that Microsoft wanted it to do, though, right? Especially being a free to play multiplayer on Steam,
Right.
it didn't get the attention that it should have. And so yeah, this guy is saying pretty much like Microsoft should have innovated on this series. They could have easily done it. They had the team, they had the ideas pitched to them, 20 to 30 ideas on what to do with the story for Halo, and they denied them all. They said a lot of these didn't even involve Master Chief. You could have had an ODST team, like an ODST story, like a whole new trilogy or whatever for Halo come out, but they denied them all and they said, "No, we're going to stick to what we're doing and keep doing that." And but yeah,
Yeah.
I
We're
was
finding all these
same
like
though.
watching a streamer.
I think.
Go ahead.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna
No,
say I was watching a streamer the other day, and he was playing Helldivers 2, and he was making a reference. He's like, "How cool would this game would have been if it would have been like a Halo game? Like could have easily done something like that with Halo and made because Helldivers is very generic like characters, and just have a bunch of Master Chief type characters with
Yeah.
different Halo enemies coming in and stuff, and like you could easily done that, or like you said, it could be a Gears of War." With the enemies and stuff in that game, like you could easily have made something like Helldivers 2, just a way survival game as well, something to just kind of change it up.
really just you think changing the formula would
I think it would
not
bring people.
split your
I
fan
think it would
base
bring
or
some people
whatever.
in.
Yeah. I mean, they
Look how
do
many
have the
people are playing Helldivers
RTS.
2 right now, and you would probably have as many people playing that as you do right now as playing Helldivers 2, and then you'd probably still have some of your loyal Halo fans come in just because it's a Halo game and checking it out as well.
Yeah, that'd be because I know with Gears of War, what was the last one we had? That was a not an RTS, but that was more top down, turn based strategy. But that was made by somebody else, right? Ensemble Studios, I think. I think they're the ones that actually made like those Halo RTS games. But yeah, it seems like that closet, guys, just like that dark closet is opening up more and more skeletons are coming out, like with
Right.
the not only from Bungie, but now some former 343 employees, So yeah, who knows where even Halo is right now as far as like development, but yeah. Let me see. I thought they were working on another RTS. What are the RTS ones, Mayo, with Halo? Do you remember?
Halo Wars.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
Halo
yeah.
Wars.
Yeah, the Wars one. So I
Yeah.
thought there was like a number 2 or 3 coming out.
What you
But
got for us, Silver Jesus?
But yeah, we'll see what happens with Microsoft. I don't think they're going to stop at 4 games. I think it's crazy to think that they're releasing 4 games that were previously exclusive to their platform to other platforms. But hey, man, if it works, whatever. Like, we'll see. In other news, Helldivers 2. Okay. Helldivers 2. It's breaking records, man.
Yeah.
Currently, it has 299,000 people playing. There was a peak of 404,000 players at the 24-hour mark from right now. That is crazy. They're pretty much saying like, man, we're doing really good. It's a good game. I'm thinking about picking it up maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what we all are.
yeah. Amid this, somebody asked Phil Spencer what they thought about Helldivers 2 not being on Xbox, and he said, I will say when I look at a game like Helldivers 2 and it's a great game, kudos to the team shipping on PC and PlayStation, but I'm not exactly sure who it helps in the industry by not being on Xbox. If you try to twist yourself to say, like somehow that benefited somebody somewhere. He says, but I get it. There is a legacy in console gaming that we're going to benefit by shipping games and not putting them in other places. We do the same thing.
They do. Yeah, they do the same thing.
So,
Yep.
yeah. So there's that. But yeah, apparently over 29,000 people or something like that have signed the petition to bring Helldivers 2 to the Xbox platform. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're tied to Sony in any way or if Sony just like,
Yeah, I didn't check that
Partnered with them.
studio.
I don't know.
Not Avalanche, starts with an A. But yeah, I didn't see what other games they made. I know they made the first Helldivers, which was like, I want to say that was a timed exclusive on the PlayStation 4 before it came to Steam.
I don't know how they would do that. I mean, I don't know if Sony has the fucking.
Because the first Helldivers is not on Xbox, right? Might be, but I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. In other news, moving on to more news. Nintendo. That's right. Nintendo is currently the richest company in Japan.
Wow.
That's right. According to what has been reported by Toyo Kizai, or Kaizao, a book and magazine publisher specializing in economics and business, has calculated that currently the richest company in Japan is Nintendo, which has $11 billion in cash flow available to the company. Another impressive thing, Mayo, is that Nintendo has 0 debts.
Wow.
That's pretty good, right? No outstanding loan debts. Yeah.
Nothing. So there's that. So yeah, no debts and $11 billion in the bank to spend.
Wow.
And we keep saying they would make more money by releasing their games on other consoles.
They don't need
Can
to.
you imagine how much money they would have then?
Thing is, they wouldn't need to. They don't need to. I mean, they would have like 40 billion then. I mean, but they don't need to, you know?
We could tell them what they need, but they're going to be like, look at our fucking bank account,
Right.
pal. Yeah.
Have you guys
We don't
seen
need
any of this
We got
stuff
all the
with
monies
new
in
Mario
Japan.
vs. Donkey Kong? I know that just came out. A little puzzle game. I thought about picking it up.
Yeah, how much is it? Like 30 or 40? Not
It's
a full
something
price
like that,
game,
yeah.
right?
No, it's not.
I did watch the preview of it.
Yeah.
That Nintendo power, man.
See here. Currently the developers at Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Studios, won Game of the Year at DICE Awards, and they were allowed to take some time with their acceptance speech. And when Larian director of publishing Michael Dowse took to the stage, he acknowledged that while this is really a human industry, it can also be very bad sometimes at showing developers what they're worth. He then started to discuss the wave of layoffs that have affected so many people in game development studios over the past year. He said, I want you all to know that you are talented and that you matter and that you are the future of this industry. Don't let that flame be extinguished by our collective mistakes. I know everyone is scared because shit's really fucked up. All of your projections are wrong and it's scary, but we persevere as an industry. We will persevere as an industry, and you will find your place and you will be welcomed back with open arms, and we will still be making games for the players and for you and with these guys. It says here, following his colleague's words, Larian's head of production, David Walgrave, took to the mic, and he said, last year I started to think the secret to our success comes from basing decisions around asking what does the player want? What do I think is best for the game? What is the most fun? What's the most crazy? Walgrave continued by saying that hearing someone say something can't be done always gave the Baldur's Gate 3 team a kick up the ass to actually make it happen. The developer also stated that Larian only ever asked one price for the game, and that's it. After that, you own it for the rest of your life. He said, we don't have shareholders, but we also don't think about the shareholders.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
He also said with what we have tried in the last 20 years is to treat people like we would like to be treated ourselves as players and as gamers, so we don't make decisions where we think this could make us the most money. On the long run, building a community, building a player base, building games that are actually fun, it's going to make you the most money. That's it. So there's that. And yeah,
Great
man.
speech. Great speech.
I kind of agree with them. Like, they don't give a fuck about investors because they don't have any investors or people
Yeah.
that they have to answer to, you know? Like, who cares?
If we make $1
And-
billion, we make $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's enough to make the next game. I like it.
It says here, Remedy Entertainment's say Control 2 and Max Payne 1 and 2 Remake have increased development pace. So, in an official update regarding the latest sales information for Alan Wake 2, Remedy Entertainment has shared that both titles have increased development pace. The company's CEO, Tero Vertala, stated that the successful launch of Alan Wake 2 has supported the studio's other game projects, namely Condor, Control 2, and Max Payne 1 and 2 Remake. Vertala mentioned that Condor, Control 2, and Max Payne 1 and 2 Remake have all increased their development pace thanks to the personnel that was freed up from work on Alan Wake 2. The company expects these titles and projects to reach their next development stages during the first half of 2024. It says here that Remedy also says they now have 2 established franchises, Control and Alan Wake, which are linked to the Remedy connected universe. Growing and expanding these franchises will be a key part of their studio's future, he explained. Regarding the sales of Alan Wake 2, Mayo, he mentioned that the survival horror title has sold 1 million copies by the end of December 2023 and 1.3 million copies at the beginning of February 2024. He also pointed out that Alan Wake 2 is Remedy's fastest selling game so far. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I need to finish that game, Alan Wake 2.
I just started playing it. He said it's pretty good. Brink really loved it. I don't know. I haven't played it. In other news, Ubisoft news. No, we're not going to talk about Skull and Bones being a shit show. Okay.
All right. No.
That game, I mean,
I haven't played
it. I'm glad I haven't played it because I would be disappointed.
Same. I'm glad I didn't.
Everything I've seen about that game, all the explanations, all the videos, all the gameplay, it doesn't look like a good game. I don't know where they went wrong there. They should have, literally what they could have done, Gunny, okay, is copied a game that was 10 years old, 11 years old at this point.
Yeah.
Taken off all the assassin parts of the game, and then just made a Black Flag game. They could have called it Skull and Bones Black Flag. It doesn't fucking matter. They could have called it that. Literally, they could have called it that. They could have just called it Black Flag. Fuck cares. And they would have just been the ship part, combat part of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and you would have been fine. People would have complained a little bit, but with updated graphics and like a little bit better things you could have done, you know, they would have been better. But this game seems to be a live service game that just doesn't look good. I don't know what the fuck they did with the combat. Looks like weird, man. It looks like arcadey as fuck. Like Black Flag makes this game look like a fucking stupid game. Like it makes it look like a bad pirate game. Like so like lately I've been seeing people posting on Facebook and Twitter. They've been posting gameplay of Black Flag and they're like, no, this is not Skull and Bones. This is the Black Flag Assassin's Creed game from 2013 that looks much better than Black Flag, and it runs better and it plays better, and it's a fucking 11-year-old game at this point. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's got a 64 on Metacritic.
I've never played Black Flag. I should go, and I own it. I should go back and
Black Flag is so good, dude.
On the PC.
That game it's fucking awesome, dude. I loved Black Flag. That game was really fucking good. But yeah. In other news, what's some more news here? Oh, Ubisoft news, right? That's what I was doing. Over 700 unionized Ubisoft employees working across the company's French studios have now taken part in an organized day of strike action after annual salary negotiations collapsed. The strike, organized by French Game Workers Union STJV, took place on February 14th across Ubisoft Paris, Montpellier, Annecy, Lyon, and Bordeaux studios. The STJV had called for action at the start of this month, saying annual salary negotiations had reached an unsatisfactory conclusion. In recent weeks, the STJV wrote in a statement shared at the time, mandatory annual negotiations on salaries have taken place in several Ubisoft entities in France, and the STJV was obviously present. Despite concerted efforts by union organizations to find an acceptable compromise, negotiations have now hit a wall. The STJV accused Ubisoft management of offering a budget for increases below inflation for the second year in a row, saying the company was hiding behind a purely arbitrary cost reduction policy. How do we correlate this contempt with our CEO's exhortations to gain agility and efficiency wrote? How could we accept such a low level of increase when the company boasts of a second quarter well beyond our expectations, while wanting to pay tribute to the exceptional commitment of the teams? This reward system seems very poorly balanced to us. That a company continues to make profits despite multi-deficient management, decides to make employees pay to increase their profits, the union statement continued, is simply unacceptable. The STJV finished by calling for strike action for all French entities belonging to the Ubisoft Group beginning on February 14th. Following the strike, the STJV shared an update on social media, writing that it had finished counting the numbers and nearly 700 Ubisoft employees took part in this nationwide strike. It added, the pickets were very well attended, and we were particularly grateful to the colleagues from other companies and students who came out to lend their support, proving that the struggle will always bring us together. This message to Ubisoft's management is extremely clear in a company where the CEO once started around claiming that when a union comes to Ubisoft, I'll leave. This week's strike action follows recent criticisms of another French studio by the STJV. In a report published last week, the union accused Banishers, Ghost of Eden, and Jusant developer Don't Nod of mismanagement, saying, and a studio where each project radically follows another, time and long-term vision required for employees' welfare is disappearing. It says here, the concerns of employee mistreatment come in a year that has already been devastating for workers across the game industry, with at least 6,000 layoffs having been announced since 2024 began, compared to the 10,500 layoffs made across the industry across the whole of last year. So there's that. Boom, boom, boom.
Damn,
Boom,
too many
boom.
layoffs. Yeah.
In other news, Valve likely made over $1 billion last year, Mayo, from loot boxes in Counter-Strike 2.
I'm not surprised.
The most striking statistic, though, Mayo, is that $980 million of that was spent by players on keys for cases. In
Yeah.
total, 400,318,821 cases were unboxed last year. So there's that. So
These are all adults, right, Mayo? Perfectly
Yeah,
legal.
I mean,
not
there's that
little
temp,
kids
you know,
gambling.
like,
These are all
Give
adults.
Gabe all your money.
yeah, you get that temp to win in big on those because some of them guns and stuff are worth like $300, $400, $500. So then people they're into Counter Strike love to try to see if they can get that. I mean, that's how my son got his Steam Deck. He literally got himself a $500 knife and then sold it on the marketplace, and then he just turned around and just bought a Steam Deck.
How much are those keys, by the way, Mayo? Have you looked at them? Like, see how
I think
much
I think they're $250. I think.
a piece? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that'll add up.
In other news, some video game actors are letting AI clone their voices. They just don't want it to replace them. That's right. So, yeah. So apparently, these actors are just letting these AI record their voices and use it. Says here, I hadn't really anticipated AI voices to be my break into the industry, but alas, when I was offered paid voice work, and I was grateful for any experience that I could get at the time, said McGee, who grew up in Northern Ireland and has previously worked as a craft brewery management, delivery driver, and farmer. He now specializes in voicing a diverse range of characters from the British Isles, turning what he used to consider a party trick into a rewarding career. AI voice clones don't have the best reputation, in part because they've been misused to create convincing deepfakes of real people, from U.S. President Joe Biden to the late Anthony Bourdain saying things they never said. Similarly, attempts by independent developers to add them to video games have also been poorly received by both gamers and actors. Most of the big studios haven't yet employed AI voices in a notable way, and are still in ongoing negotiations on how to use them with the Hollywood Actors Union, which also represents game performers. Concerns about how movie studios will use AI helped fuel last year's strikes by the Screen Actors Guild of American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, but when it comes to game studios, the union is showing signs that a deal is likely. Sarah El Maleh, who has played the Cube Queen in Fortnite and numerous other high-profile roles in blockbuster and indie games, said she has always been one of the more conservative voices on AI-generated voices, but now considers herself more agnostic. We've seen some uses where the game developer's interest was a shortcut that was exploitative and was not done in consultation with the actor. But in other cases, she said, the role of an AI voice is often invisible and used to clean up a recording in the later stages of production, or to make a character sound older or younger at a different stage of their virtual life. There are use cases that I would consider with the right developer, or that I simply feel that the developer should have the right to offer to an actor, and then the actor should have the right to consider it, that it can be done safely and fairly without exploiting them. Says here the SAG-AFTRA, that's the guilds, what's that, Screen Actors Guild
Yeah.
case or whatever, has already made a deal with one AI voice company, Replica Studios. Announced last month at CES Gadget Show in Las Vegas, the agreement, which SAG-AFTRA president Brand Drescher described as the great example of AI being done right, enables major studios to work with unionized actors to create and license a digital replica of their voice. It sets the terms that allow performers to opt out of having their voices used in perpetuity. Everyone says they're doing it with ethics in mind, but most are not, and some are training their AI system with voice data pulled off the internet without the speaker's permission, said Replica Studios CEO Shreyas Nivas. Nivas said that his company licenses characters for a period of time. To clone a voice, it would be a recording session, and then ask the actor to voice a script either in the regular voice or the voice of the character they are going to perform. They control whether they wish to go ahead with this, he said. It's creating a new revenue stream, and we're not replacing the actors. This year, it was Replica Studios that first reached out to McGee about a voice-over audio clip he created demonstrating a Scottish accent. Working from his home studio in Vancouver, British Columbia, he's since created a number of AI replicas and pitched his own ideas for them. For each character, he'll record lines with distinct emotions, some happy, some sad, some in battle duress. Each mood gets about 7,000 words, and the final audio dataset amounts to several hours covering all of the characters' styles. Once cloned, a paid subscriber of Replica's text-to-speech tool can make that voice say pretty much anything within certain guidelines. McGee said experience has opened doors to a range of acting experiences that didn't involve AI, including a role in the upcoming strategy game Godsworn. Voice actor Zeke Alton, whose credits include more than a dozen roles in the Call of Duty game, hasn't yet agreed to lending his voice to an AI replica, but he understands why studios might want them as they try to scale up game franchises such as Baldur's Gate and Starfield, where players can explore vast open worlds and encounter elves, warlocks, or aliens at every corner. How do you populate thousands of planets with walking, talking entities while playing every single actor for every single individual? That just becomes unreasonable at a point, said Elton. And Alton is also open to AI tools that reduce some of the most physically straining work in creating game characters, the grunts, the shouts, and other sounds of characters in battle, as well as the movements of jumping, striking, falling, and dying required in motion capture scenes. He says, I'm one of the people that is not interested so much in banning AI. I think there's a way forward for developers to get their tools and make their games better while bringing along the performers so that we maintain the human artistry. So pretty much, says here, the Screen Actors Guild apparently has a voice with that fucking, what's that, voice replica? What's that company called? Replica Studios.
I don't know. Okay.
And they're going to use that for voice acting. And they're saying that the Video Game Union doesn't yet have a deal with them, but it looks like the Video Game Union is pretty open to using AI to voice characters.
Yeah, I think the question is how they get paid going forward, right? Because
yeah, I mean, what if you sign a deal, right? You think, oh, this is a pretty good deal. They're going to pay me quite a bit of money to use this to record 6 hours with my voice. They pay you a really good amount of money, Gunny, but then you don't realize, oh, fuck. The contract says they can use it in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Forever.
So let's throw this out here a little bit, Jesus. So you talk about perpetuity, yeah, if I can say that word correctly. So let's say they change like maybe the pitch in the voice and they change the file names and they say, well, it's not technically your voice anymore. It's kind of yeah, something we created here in our studio. So therefore
you don't get paid anymore.
you don't get paid anymore. You get zipped because it's now that file belongs to us, right?
That's gonna happen so many times. Dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, man. Mayo, I'm gonna take your voice. I'm gonna give it a deeper bass
There you go.
and say, "Oh, he's not from Ohio. He's from Idaho.
Yeah.
He's from
Mayo
Idaho.
from Idaho.
He's
He's
not
from
Mayo.
Texas. He's from Texas now.
He's Miracle Whip. He's not Mayo.
Right.
This is Miracle Whip."
We call him Mayo Rays. That's what we call him.
All right, this guy is free, Mayo. You're fired now.
It's our own file.
What's gonna
Copyrighted
happen?
and protected.
You know, like, what's gonna
That's
happen,
not you.
man?
That's not you. We hear Mayo.
No, it's not you, Mayo.
Right.
This guy loves Steam. Also, he loves Steam. He's the best steamer. He loves everything about Steam.
You're being replaced. End of story.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's gonna be crazy. I think, man. It's gonna happen. We'll see. I mean, it's just a matter of time, right? We just haven't seen it yet, right? To its full extent. Give it
No,
about
right. We're still in the pioneering stages here.
All right, give it about 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. It'll just be.
Everywhere.
I
It'll
think
just be
you know,
normal.
like I think even like in a couple of years, Jesus, I think we're gonna find out where that'll just be like we'll get some famous. I don't know, like fucking. It'll be like Taylor Swift going, "Hey, that's my voice," in the fucking GTA 7 or whatever. You know, what the hell's going on? Like that's not you. You know, that's AI, man. AI created it. We just let the computer generate it. You know, so.
What company do you think will be the first news station to use an AI anchor?
Like,
do you think it'll be like CNN or MSNBC, where like an AI anchor, like exactly what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just have a fucking AI generated fucking thing on the screen that looks like a person, and have it voiced by an AI, and then just have them read the news like a regular anchor does.
Right, because right now you can kind of tell, right? If you click on a YouTube video or you watch a video, you're like, "Oh, it's clearly, kind of
fake.
the AI
Like,
voice thing going."
It's not a real
not
person.
real.
But at what point will they just use an AI? They don't need to pay anchors anymore.
Yeah, probably be the MSNBC, Fox, CNN, ABC. Probably
Think about
ABC, right? I can see ABC doing it.
Like these news stations that run all night and all day long, 24 hours a day, they have their channel running. Imagine how much money they could save if they could just have a computer with a fucking a likeness of somebody, not exactly somebody, Mayo, the likeness of somebody be on the screen reading the headlines and asking the questions that anchors ask. They don't ask complex questions. When you ever watch the news and there's always like, "Oh, there was a stabbing at the fucking train station. Let's go over live to the fucking reporter." And then, "Hey, Jimmy, tell us what happened." And then Jimmy's like, "I'm fucking out here in the rain, you sons of bitches." Yeah, y'all got me out here in the rain. This guy got stabbed. He didn't give up his wallet, and he went to the hospital. Back to you in the studio. "Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Can you tell us the condition? Did they arrest the perpetrator?" "No, he got away. He's running now. We don't know where he's at." And then that's it. Like, they ask the same questions to everyone. They ask the same how is it like? What's it like out there, Mayo? What's it like in Ohio right now, Mayo? What's the weather like?
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
great.
exactly,
Oh,
though.
that's
It's
good to hear, man.
6 inches
But,
of snow.
That's all they ask. You could train an AI to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Does that kill the anchor industry? What the fuck?
Right, 6 inches of snow. The roads are icy. Yeah, you can put some personality into it.
Yeah, like AI is going to replace everything.
Careful on your morning commute this morning.
We're going to have no more actors, no more fucking anchors, no more weather guy, no more any of that shit. It's all going to be an AI fucking drone fake thing sitting there. Or it'll be somebody in a green suit that's not even talking, sitting there moving around with the fucking green suit on. And it'll just be a fucking fake AI, like generating, like, they're going to have some intern dress up in a green fucking suit, right? Have him sit down at the anchor desk.
Yeah.
And okay, man, all you got to do is sit there and shut up. Every so often, pick up the piece of paper in front of you and tap it on the desk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are we talking about the janitor? Let's the janitor's turn. Come on over here.
Hey, every so often, we need you to tap the iPad that's in front of you. Just tap it like you're scrolling or something. Okay, that's all you got to do. All right, every so often, just do that, and then you look like you're real. Don't say nothing. We got it covered. You just got to sit there and look around. Like, like somebody's going to do it. I wonder who's going to do it first. I wonder when we'll hear about it. Which company will be like, these people did a whole broadcast with an AI and nobody complained, you know?
Nobody even noticed. Yeah.
Yeah. You think they'll do it that way where they'll do it like secretly, like they won't even tell no one and they
I
just
think
do
so.
it
Yeah, they'll just do it.
and then like no one will notice, right? No one will complain. And then like a week later they'll just come out and say like, "Oh yeah, you guys remember that broadcast we did last Wednesday? Yeah, that wasn't even like a real person. That was an AI. We had an intern in a green suit and he just sat there and tapped the iPad every few seconds."
Yeah,
And
we
he
already
didn't
laid off
say-
our 2 top anchors, by the way. Yeah, they're out of a job.
He didn't say a fucking word. This was all computer generated, you know? Like, by the way, we fired our 2 anchors and we saved a lot of money doing that because we don't got to pay their health insurance or anything. And now we have a computer generated AI that will do all the anchors from now on.
Yeah,
Like-
and our camera guy, he's actually in Bermuda right now, so he's just doing everything from his computer on that side.
He's
Work from
fucking
home.
remote. Fucking remote. We paying a guy $2 an hour in Bermuda to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Our production
That's the-
assistant, yeah, she was there, but she was breastfeeding her baby. She's back home over in Vermont. So, yeah,
That's all. That's it,
who
Gunny.
needs
We
to be
figured it
office
out.
anymore?
It's gonna start like that. It's gonna be just a normal thing. No one's gonna fight it. No one fights it, dude. It's gonna just slowly take over everything, Gunny.
Yeah. You know, the thing that I think I've said it on the show before, not that I ever have to deal with it, right? Because I have a lovely wife that deals with all those telephone calls. You know, when you're calling the bank, the hospital, the credit card company, whoever it might be, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're all listening out there like, oh yeah, you know, always get put on hold and got to press the correct number to get to a live person. How we know if it's even going to be a live person, right? Over the phone, especially.
Half the time probably isn't.
Yeah.
Could be a recording.
I'm
You ever
sorry.
heard-
What were you trying to do? Yeah, like I'm
Yeah,
trying to get to a real person.
You ever see those
Banking,
videos?
finances.
You
Yeah.
ever see those videos that Google does with like the voice AI for like their phone? Like they're like when they have people call like a voice AI on the fucking thing, and then like you're having a conversation about having dinner tomorrow or whatever. Like,
No, I haven't seen that.
Like, yeah, they've done this in the past where like they like unveil like their AI for like, oh, this AI can help you make reservations at a restaurant. So you set up the AI and you tell the AI, I want you to make a reservation for me for tomorrow for dinner at 6 p.m. at this restaurant. And they'll have the AI call up the restaurant live.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and the AI will be like, hey, I would like to make a reservation for tomorrow. Is there anything available? And the person will be like, hold on, let me see. And the AI is smart enough to know that how the people are responding and how to like process their response, you know? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, we have a reservation that could be made at 6 if you want it. And they're like, yeah, I would like to do that. You know, like, this reservation will be for 3 people. Can I do that? You know, but it sounds like a real person is talking to the people that are making the reservation on the other end. It sounds like they're talking to a real person, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's amazing.
Crazy. So yeah, like I think eventually it's gonna take over everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm done with news, Kenny. There's no more news.
All right. I think I had just one more that I threw in there. So I don't think we've ever talked about it, but so this is Jedi Survivor. Who made Jedi Survivor? That was Respawn, right? So they are making a Mandalorian game.
Well, not surprised.
Reportedly making a Mandalorian game.
It's EA trying to cash in on that fucking Disney
Yeah,
10
for
year
sure.
10-year
Yeah.
deal they made with Disney or whatever. Which I mean, if I was them, I'd be trying to make as many Disney games, as many Star Wars games as I could before anyone else could. You know, I'd be
Right.
trying to make all the fucking Battlefronts, everything, fucking Jedi Fighter. I'd make all kinds of shit. We're making an X-wing fighter game. We're making a Jedi duel game. We're making a fucking live in Star Wars game. You just live there. That's what you would do, right? Anyways.
Yeah. Good old Quantic Dream making Star Wars Eclipse.
Yeah.
Ubisoft's got Outlaws coming out. You've got the who is it? So you've got the shit. Now I can't think of his actual name, but yeah, you got a movie coming out. So things are rolling, man, in the Star Wars universe. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, we've got Ryan Tulp Jr. He's got a question here, guys. He's got a question. I guess it's related to me, and so he asks if I feel bad that Big Money Bucks Ryan, if he left me out to dry, since we couldn't get a crown win But Ryan and Olivia could. Ryan and his daughter could get one, but we couldn't get one. What the hell, man? The
Fucking
fuck.
loser, Gunny. You held him down, Gunny.
I did, right? I even said it in the show.
Put her weight more than what you did, Gunny.
I know Olivia's.
I should have jumped in with you guys this morning, but played with you and Ryan.
360 no scoping and doing the emotes while Gunny's over there like, revive me, guys.
I come flying in on a car, fucking jump out, fucking waste everybody. Yeah. While airborne,
I will say I did play with Nico and Gunny and Ryan today, and
I know. I was busy.
First 2 games were wins with us.
I was out there teaching the kid how to drive a real car.
Gunny could have been playing with us. He could have got a win, maybe. Maybe we would have got a win.
Man.
That would have felt good though, right? Because I haven't actually gotten one yet, but that was an epic fail on my part. It still felt good though, guys. That last time I played with Ryan, like, let me just run right into him and block his view so they fucking other team can kill us. 2 other teams, by the way. But
yeah, I haven't played Fortnite in like 2 years, dude.
You got to jump back in sometime, Jesus. It's it's easy. It's not easy, but yeah, easy on.
Yeah, I would play zero build. The kid here, she plays Fortnite, but she plays the build mode one, and that shit's hardcore, dude. I watch her play sometimes, and I'm like,
I can't do it.
I'm like, how the
I can build the stairs, and then I can build the platform.
Shit, dude?
But
no, man, they people building like a whole fucking tower, like in a second.
Yeah, I can't. It takes me a little bit, but yeah.
Whole fucking building up. I'm like,
I can't even keep track what my boy does when he plays the building mode, like when he plays competitive.
Yeah.
I can throw a few walls up.
But it was funny when we were playing and my boy joined us, and he'd come in and he was wiping out whole squads by himself. But it was like my boy's friend and myself and Ryan were all dead. And my boy solo killed like 3 squads all by himself. And them guys are just kind of like, holy crap, And then he literally got all 3 of our tags and revived all of us. He was just like a 1-man army out there, just killing each individual 3-man squad on his own.
That's crazy.
Well, actually, that was a 4-man squad because we were playing a full squad. So,
but
yeah, I think that game he had like 25 kills, and Ryan was like, "Holy cow!"
All right, guys, moving on to the old console corner of things. Some free games, some are not. Some are part of this subscription. So for the PlayStation Plus, still remains what we are with Foam Stars over on PS5, and they did make it for the PS4, along with Roller Dome. And Steel Rising is just on the PlayStation 5. Over to Xbox Game Pass, we have Tales of Arise. I actually downloaded that game. I'm just going to check it out. I don't know if I'll get into it, more of a Japanese game. But and what else is on Game Pass? Anything good, Mayo? Let me just double check here on the PC side of things.
I just had it up a little bit ago. I was looking.
Yeah, see what they added recently.
Nothing really jumped up, but there was some new games recently listed.
Let's see. We've got
Tales of Rise,
Return to Grace.
A little to the left. Oh, Played Up. Played Up is a game my son bought on Steam.
Yeah,
that is a game kind of like
I forgot the name. We've played it remotely.
Yes, where you got to try to make plates of food and instead of hurry up kind of game, you got to hurry up and get the food put together and you have your plates. Gosh, I can't think of the name of the game right now, but. Yeah, they did add Resident Evil 3 as a nice little ad.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was going to be like, I misread it when somebody put it in chat one time. I was like, oh, cool, Resident Evil 3. But I was thinking, fuck, I already own that game. I wanted Resident Evil 4, so I just don't want to pay $30 for it.
The remake for 2 in there as well.
Yeah, 2 was really good. But the other one on here on Game Pass I was looking at was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That looks like a Mayo game. It's a platformer hack and slash
series game, wasn't it? I played that one before.
Yeah, so
or something.
That one's about. That one actually looks pretty good. But over onto the Epic Game Store, claim your free games over there, like J1220 has for the longest time. But now he's got a PC he can actually play these games on. And that is Dakar Desert Rally. So I noticed it was like super cheap on Xbox. I haven't played it, but I think it's an older game, man. I think it came out on like 360, but it's like kind of been ported over. I don't know how it looks. So maybe just Dakar is like the older one, but Desert Rally is the newest one, I'm guessing. So, but yeah, that's all I have. I haven't played any pinball at all this week, so I better get on that stuff tomorrow because Ryan always buys all the cool new tables. So get off the old pal roll kick for a while,
Yeah.
just stuck on it. But I think that's all we have for the show, gentlemen.
All right, Gunny, where can people find you?
Go find me over on Xbox and Steam under gamer tag Gunny Chief. That's one word. And still sometimes on the PlayStation, HGP_Gunny. What about you, Mayo? Where do we find you?
Well, you can find me everywhere on the Xbox and the PlayStation. Probably still playing some more God of War, and The Last of Us 2 over there on the PlayStation, and the Xbox probably still playing Forza over there. But I'm open to some other stuff too. On the PC, been playing still, like I said, mess around with Fortnite and stuff, having fun there. You're gonna find me as the Mayo1. If not, find me on Discord as the Mayo.
All right, and you can find me on everything at Season Walkslot. I'll be playing some more City Skylines, maybe some Starfield eventually. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some Skull and Bones. I don't know. No, probably not that.
Probably not.
But anyways, we'll see you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers Podcast. We're out of here, everyone. Hope you have a good day, a good night, or whatever you're doing. I hope it's good. I just hope it's good. I don't know what you're doing. Hopefully you're doing something fun. Hopefully not working.
Hopefully you're just gaming.
Hopefully not your taxes. I'd rather be working than doing taxes.
Fuck yeah, dude. Unless you are a tax accountant.
Right, you're making money at the same time.
Then you're getting paid to do somebody's taxes. But if you're not getting paid,
don't
fucking. That sounds.
I hope you're getting a refund.
Everyone, bye. Everyone, bye.
Bye.
See ya.